And it says we're live. No fancy intro. Sorry, guys. Sorry we're late. My internet shit the bed again. That's it. I just ruined the whole stream. No other people will be notified that this is happening because I swore in the first 15 seconds. All right. So, welcome to Casual AF. The gaming stream so casual that most times, like tonight, I don't even turn on the bloody game. We do little to no prep. I say little because I actually took some notes this week, Steve. So I've got banners and everything. It's a little against policy of not preparing, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm here this evening with the wonderful, the absolutely neither fake nor gay Craig Bragg.
Yes, thank you, CMAC, and thank you, Irving, for having me on once again to the Casual AF. Thank you, CMAC. Yes, my shirt is fancy. Went out to dinner.
It is a spiffy shirt.
It is a spiffy shirt. Went out to dinner with the wife and some friends from Guelph. The one of my friends is a feminist who I argue with constantly, and tonight was no different. So
I would argue that if the person is a feminist, they're not your friend.
No, she's clearly my friend. Just like I have friends who are anti-Semitic. It doesn't change our friendship. So. Shit. Anyway.
So we got some fun topics on the agenda tonight. Fun. Sure. By fun, I mean absolutely dystopian, mind-bogglingly stupid. But we're going to start the way we've been starting for a little while, with Old Man Fitness.
Fit.
Yeah. So how's your gym journey been going?
Good. I have training with Chevy today. We concentrated on the upper body mainly. Got to actually lie down on the bench and do some bench pressing. I'm not going to tell you how much I benched because I'm a little embarrassed by my flabby pectorals and arms. So, but no, it's a good time.
Well, I would tell you, it doesn't matter how much you bench. What matters is that you benched.
Thank you. Yes. No, I felt very good after today's workout.
Yeah. Upper body stuff just feels like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, aren't I?
Right. Yeah. So, I'm not as weak as I thought I was. I'll say that. Well, excuse me.
Oh my. No, it's one of the internet memes that goes around. This super powered like hero character out of an anime is telling a very small person who can't fight, right? Being weak is nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
Staying weak is.
Good point.
Yeah. And are you recovering nicely? You're making sure stick to the diet. You notice if you deviate from whatever Chevy tells you about eating, you feel like shit.
Yeah. Well, I've been eating, like they say, clean food for a while. I'm eating more than. For a while, I was doing OMAD, right, 1 meal a day, and I was doing intermittent fasting for a while. Now I'm eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then on workout days, I'll have a little bit more just before workout. But yeah, I don't know if I'm losing weight. I might be. I might be building muscle weight. I have no idea, but it is what it is.
I knew a guy years and years ago who'd never worked out, right? Like never even ran around. He was like the curious case of Benjamin Button. He was born an old man. I met him at 23 years old. He was wearing like a brown cardigan and mom jeans.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, what? He has gold, very round rimmed glasses and stuff. It's like, how are you already an old man at 23? And finally he started doing some working out. We got him like running with us and whatever. And he says, it's weird. I'm not losing any weight. I got on the scale. I haven't lost weight, but my pants are looser. And I tell him, bro, because you're not hunched over. You're literally standing up taller because you breathe bigger and you've just stretched your stomach out. So it's not just spilling into the inside of your jeans now.
It's true.
And he's looking in the mirror. He's like, I am standing up straight. That's weird.
Yeah, my posture is much better now than it was. And actually, a guy at the gym when I was there on Friday, I was doing squats with kettlebells on my shoulders like this, right?
Mhm.
And he was in the same area, and I'm like, I'm not in your way, are you? And he's like, no, 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 I was just watching you. And I'm like, okay. Any pointers? How's my form? Is it all good? And he's like, no, your form's great. I just noticed you can't get as deep as probably you want to. And I'm like, yeah, normally I use a box so I can tell when my butt hits the box. I know I'm going deep enough. But all the boxes were in use. So he's like, yeah, it. I was reading this book about. It's called Made to Move, which is all about how our bodies are constructed to move and how,
Mm.
as much as we concentrate on our muscles, we also have to concentrate on our joints because you could be doing, lifting great weight, but if you're not lifting properly, you'll hurt your joints, and your joints are
Yeah.
much weaker than your muscles, right? And you take yourself out of commission. He's like, 50% of the guys I see here, they may be building muscle, but they're not going to be able to do it for long. They're going to hurt themselves, and then, their weight gains career is going to end basically. So we got a few comments.
We do. We do.
Feminists should
Feminists
be
should
shot
be
on
shot
sight,
on sight.
and there should be a reward.
Followed by, oh my God, mom jeans should also be shot
Shot
on
on
sight.
sight. There you go.
In between though, awesome grind, Bragg. You're kicking ass.
Thanks very much, C-Mac. Appreciate that.
Uh, Pox ran into the issue of losing fat and packing muscle at the same time, so weight stayed static for a little while. That
Yeah,
that can happen when you jump
yeah,
into it, right?
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I can already hear the guys actually at the fit board going, "Oh no, it takes years to put on even a few pounds of lean muscle mass." Yeah, okay, it happens in spurts, right?
I don't need to,
Yeah,
like, I mean, my goal is to get down to a reasonable body fat percentage. Like right now I'm at about 31%. Might be less now because I've been working up, but when I first started and they did all the analytics of my body and everything, I was at 31% percentage body fat. So if I get down below 20, I'll be very happy. Very
yeah,
happy. If so lean muscle mass, I just want to build muscle. But for the time being, I've only been doing it for a month. Chevy's concentrating on basically uh, making sure I've got the right form, making sure I'm strengthening what muscle I do have before it starts packing on the weight for the muscle building part of it, right? And I
yeah,
appreciate that. And he's very conscientious about the fact that I'm an older guy. I'm 52, and he's not loading the weights on very hard. Like the first day, I told you, the first day I was there, I felt like I was going to throw up. Because I've been living, 35 years of bad habits. I relied on, my teenage years, just a high metabolism to keep myself thin. And, I was never into sports. I never exercised. I just naturally had a high metabolism. Plus I'm tall and I've always been skinny. So I didn't put on weight. And of course, now as I got older, I put on weight, and then just bad lifestyle. I've become sedentary. Now I do not miss a day without doing at least 10,000 steps. And today I think I'm upward
beautiful,
around 12,000 steps.
very
So
good.
yeah, so I couldn't believe how many steps I got yesterday just from mowing the lawn. I was a little bit shy of my 10,000. By the time I finished, I was at my 10,000 just from mowing the lawn. And I don't have a big lawn. So, yeah, the Fitbit's great. I love this thing because it tells me what I'm doing. It even reminds me, hey, you're sitting too long. Get up and do something. So I'm like, oh, great. So, yeah. So no,
It's got a proper lunk alarm.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, you're resting too long. Get up. Yeah.
Fucking lunk, keep moving.
Yeah. Exactly. The worst is when you lost an old muscle and then it pops back into existence after one or two workouts, but it hurts like a donkey kicked you. Yeah, no doubt, right? I hate that pain. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what muscles I've lost because I don't know anything about physiology or anything. Right? I know that I'm feeling a little bit stronger. I'm feeling my posture is much better. Um, I get better night's sleep, even if I don't go to sleep at the correct time. When I wake up, I feel rested, which is good. So,
Yeah, after you've been physical, you sleep deeper.
oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, you like you melt into your bed like, oh, thank God. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, it just feels great to lay down, you know?
Well, it like the Fitbit tells me my sleep phases and how many minutes I spent in each sleep phase, which is great. So it tells me
Weird.
how much I was in REM, how much I was in deep sleep, how much was in light sleep, and how much I was awake during the night. Because
It's
you
like
wake up in the
electronic
middle of the night whether you
Santa.
realize it or not, right? What's that? Sorry.
It's like electronic Santa. It sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when
That's
you're
right.
awake.
Yeah, I have to keep it on, of course, but yeah.
What's the I was like a baby deer after my first proper leg day a couple of years ago. And
Oh,
then you
you're like, yeah, you feel like your legs are rubber. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And you have to. I've not worked out so far that I had to crawl up the stairs. Yeah, I'm not doing anything quite that intensive, but
So
I come out of there, sweating, I've always been a sweater because, like I said, I was so out of shape. The slightest bit of exertion would cause me to sweat and heat
mm,
up very, very rapidly. And now I sweat, but I don't overheat, which is nice. So
no, I find after a solid leg day, going up the stairs sucks, right? Like it's every step is painful and
mm,
but going down the stairs feels like you're just gonna collapse.
yes.
Like your legs are giving out. Like it's so like yeah, so much more dangerous.
Well, I do like Chevy has me doing 5 minutes of warm up before we start our training, right? So I always get there a little bit early to do my 5 minute warm up, so it's not eating into my training time, right? And for the fast little while, I've just been going on the treadmill and doing like a decent, fast paced sort of walk on the treadmill, like
Mhm.
3.6 miles per hour or 4 miles per hour, 4 miles per hour. But lately, I've been doing the stair climber.
Oh
Fuck,
yeah.
that's a workout.
Oh yeah.
Like 5 minutes, and I'm already dripping because think about, if you lived in a walk up apartment, you had to climb 5 flights of stairs, right? So yeah, that's what it's like before I start my workout, climbing 5 flights of stairs.
When we were 17, we did that World Wildlife Fund climb up the CN Tower.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. What is it like? It's like 2,700 stairs.
oh, it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it starts to get really weird because it's just a concrete tube. So
Hmm.
every time you turn around, like you turn the corner of a stairwell, it's just more stairwell.
Hmm.
And after a while, you start to feel like you're trapped, like you'll never get out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
You
like
get up to a certain point and you're like I can't go down now. I'm more than
yeah,
halfway. I got to keep going. Yeah, no, I've never done that, but I probably should. Like I said, I know they keep doing it. They do the walk for life or whatever, or the walk for whatever. Yeah, I think that would be really good because I don't mind climbing stairs, but doing it on a stair machine, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's guiding your pace,
mm,
so you either have to keep up. And I find when I walk slowly up the stairs, I find it more strenuous than if
yeah.
I walk, at a faster rate, right? So yeah,
But yeah, 2,700 steps
yeah,
took me
right.
25 minutes almost.
That's pretty good because I've heard people take closer to an hour kind of thing. But
Well, yeah, but then there's the marathon runners that race up it and can do it in like under 6 minutes.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, I wouldn't. What are you trying to prove, man? Like seriously.
Trying to set records. Good
Yeah,
for them.
I guess. Good on you, but like I couldn't do that. I'll take a leisurely stroll up the stairs. It's like when we used to do the Terry Fox run. You're supposed to run,
Yeah.
however many kilometers you can. You get sponsorship for it. When I was a kid, nobody ever ran. They just walked from one area to another, and they got as many, went as many kilometers as they could, and they got paid for how many kilometers. And you didn't. You might have jogged a little bit here and there. Most times you're just walking.
And I've seen the videos, okay? Even one-legged, that motherfucker was running. He was running as best he could with one leg.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah.
shameful to not actually try to run.
No, well, I mean, he was doing a brisk walk or jog, right? Because you got to think it's a marathon going across the country, right? You can't just you can't sprint, and with one leg, it's even harder.
Well, yeah. Ah,
How about you? How's that Planet Fitness going?
fucking
You
Planet
you, you,
Fitness.
you set off the lunk alarm yet? There, you lunk.
No, someone actually has to go over and push the button if they're upset with you. But I have actually been like working really hard, like trying to trying to make it. You know,
Yeah.
we're all
So
gonna make
you're
it.
grunting. You're making audible noises.
Yeah, yeah. And like not like on purpose, like not like fucking what's his name there, Ronnie Coleman
Yeah.
screaming lightweight baby while he squats 800 pounds for 2 reps, right? But just like, yeah, completely. Oh, fuck. So I don't know if this is still a thing.
Enjoy your gym pizza. Oh yeah, Planet
Yeah,
Fitness pizza days.
I've never seen it.
Or you've
But
heard it, yeah.
yeah, like, but yeah, like, what's the word there? Where you don't actually mean to, but you can't help but grunt because it's hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if
have you
you're
never
exerting yourself, you're gonna make noise. Like, just try lifting a fucking refrigerator over a doorstep, a door threshold.
asked Paul,
Ugh.
right?
Yeah.
But I grunt like that in the gym, and now when I get off the couch, I don't make that noise.
Hmm.
So that's I think a good trade-off, right?
Hmm. I think my couch is too deep because when I get up off the couch, I still feel it in my legs because I think I'm sitting way too deep.
Hmm.
And also, I don't just sit in the couch; I like recline in the couch, right? So that's even worse.
No, but how long have you been on this now?
The gym stuff,
Yeah.
about a
Yeah.
month, about a month.
Yeah, give it another month and you'll see.
Hmm. Yeah, I have to start going more on my own. So I have him 2 days a week, and I'll typically go in at least another 2 days each week. I want to go at least 3 other days each week. So that and like not overdo it, but do a good enough workout that I'm sweating when I walk out of there,
Hmm.
and I feel like I've gotten something done. Like don't give up. You know what I mean? Don't just go. "Ah, all right, I've had enough. I work until I'm like, okay, I can't do anymore. I physically cannot do anymore.
No, yeah, what is it? Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Glutes for the sloots. Yeah, I don't have much glutes. I've always had a flat ass, but I can feel they're getting stronger, getting all round and muscular. So
What?
I bet you could, Irving. I bet you couldn't even fit your dick in there.
Yeah, there's some weird thing. It's like this weird fetish thing. Gainers and
Gainer.
gaining. People who like purposely are making themselves fatter
Yeah, yeah.
for the sake of nudity and pornography and like fetishism, right?
Oh, like that troon on the whatever podcast.
Oh God.
She has an OnlyFans. It has an OnlyFans. I shouldn't say she because she doesn't look like a she. It has an OnlyFans.
I don't know if that one's a gainer or not, but like they gloat about how much weight they're gaining and what their weight gain goals are and like how they become less mobile. They feel sexier or something,
Eat a
right?
fucking
Yeah.
salad. Jesus Christ. Put the pizza down and eat a fucking salad.
I, I remember reading something about, yeah, this gainer chick talking about how as she was putting on the weight and like her ass was getting bigger, she could feel her ass moving with every step and that it was hot, right? The thing is, hold on, I've been doing a lot of squats, right? A lot of deadlift, right? Ask Pox.
Bro, sumo squats will give you that cake, son.
All right.
How about
And
that?
now I get out of the car, right? I put my one foot out of the car, and it's like I can feel my glutes and my hammies just like doing all the work. I feel the exact same thing she described, except I'm on the right path.
Well, you know what? I feel like I'm walking through the grocery store with the wife the other day, and I can feel my belly jiggling, and I feel so self conscious about it because I'm like right after a workout, I'm feeling. I don't want to use a really cheesy term, but I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling like I've
Yeah.
got some blood flowing through the muscles I was working out, but I can also feel this bowl of jelly just jiggling, and I feel
Uh,
so. ugly about it. But
Bet you
I know
never
it'll
noticed
come
it
off. I
before.
just have to keep working on it, keep working on my diet and the whole bit, right? So
Abs are made in the kitchen, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
CMAC says, I hate these people. I can't gain 5 pounds. I've been trying for 20 years. Would you say that you are unhealthily thin, CMAC? From your picture, you don't look unhealthily thin. You look slim. But
No, but from the stories she tells, she's also very active and
yeah,
like the way she describes eating and the food and giving us the health tips, she eats good food.
yeah.
So if you stay active and eat good food, if you're not lifting heavy and eating, what is it, a gram of protein per pound of body weight, you're not going to put
0.75.
on muscle
I think it's
mass, right?
0.75 grams of protein for every pound you weigh. Yes.
Yeah. Like it's going to be, and you have to lift heavy too, right?
105 pounds. See, there are women who would kill to be 105 pounds, you know? So that's good, though. How tall are you, CMAC?
Next, ask her measurements.
No, that'd be rude. How old are you?
You need to force
Rare
feed.
steak and creatine. Yeah, and I put creatine in all my protein shakes, too. Yeah. 5'6". Okay. So 105 pounds, 5'6". 30, 25, 35. I didn't ask. Irving said to ask. Well, that's great. You look like you're very well proportioned, or you sound like you're very well proportioned, and you weigh a nice weight.
She'll be 41 in October and she's a Libra.
What's your star sign there, Irving? I'm a
Sag-
Cancer.
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. I'm a
Yeah.
Cancer. I'm a water sign.
No, but I mean, I don't
My
really buy
brother's
into the
I think my
astrology
brother's
stuff.
a Libra. Yeah, my brother's a Libra. He was born in September.
No, I don't buy into the astrology stuff.
Oh, neither do
Sagittarius, I'm
I.
pretty skeptical.
No, I don't buy into it either. But it's I know it because somebody said, "Oh, you're Cancer." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." I'm a horrible disease that kills millions of people every fucking year. That's great. Anything else? Irving wants to know if you're single. Yeah, my wife's a Scorpio. Sages and Libras are partners in crime usually. Well, you're both anti-Semitic, so there you go. You're paid in heaven for each other.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yes, you are. You're a terrible, terrible person.
A little bit.
Sorry, man. I'm hijacking your stream to insult
It's all
you. I
right.
shouldn't do
It's all right. Oh, anything else?
it. I'm going away for a week in May, at the end of May, to BC, and they don't have a Movati Fitness out there, so I can't work out. But they'll have a gym, I'm sure, at the hotel, so I'll make use of it there. Almost single. I swore off boys when I had the kid, and I'm done very shortly. She's almost 18. Single mothers shouldn't date. Well, when she's 18, she's on her
Interesting take.
own.
The point was it's too much information. You're just asking for too much information now. That was the point.
Fight me, but I'm right. Well, everyone's got to do what they feel they got to do. Any tips on surviving teenage? Yeah, Pox has a lovely young daughter who's just gotten into drums, and he's a proud papa. He's been sharing information about his daughter, starting a band, getting into drums. Yep.
Wait, vitamin D for which? For the dad or the daughters?
Vitamin D for everybody. It's like a super drug. Everybody should be taking vitamin D. Yes, absolutely. Vitamin D is important. I take 3,000 IUs every day.
Oh, so CMAC, what's a good source, a good natural food source of vitamin D then?
Nothing. The sun.
Oh yeah.
The
Let's
sun
get
gives
more
you
sun one
vitamin
day.
D.
That's right. It's the sunny season now.
Yeah.
Just more walks for the dog is all. For the girls, it balances hormones. Really? Hmm.
Good to know. Fruit.
Fruit,
Yeah, I
huh?
guess
Yeah.
anything that takes the sun and converts it into sugar or converts it into food for itself. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would
Makes
make sense.
sense. Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that I think should be the 25-minute old man health and fitness segment
There
that
we
we've
go.
been doing lately.
Thank you.
We're all gonna make it. Okay.
Yes.
So what's next? I like this one.
Oh, very good.
Backfire.
Yep.
So thanks to Justin Trudeau and the Liberals for banning all of those firearms for the handgun moratorium, the order in council. Thanks so much. Now violent crime is up across Canada. Like,
Which is odd because we didn't really have a lot of gun owners using guns to defend themselves or to stop crimes in
no.
progress.
And yet, here we are.
And yet here we are. Fewer guns in the hands of reasonable, sane people and more crime. I think the more crime has more to do with the insanity of the last couple of years and the increase in immigration and the increased laissez-faire approach to criminal justice. I think that's what it comes down to. Letting people out who should be in jail otherwise, and they're
Yeah.
going back and they're recidivists, right? They just keep committing more crimes. As a matter of fact, cops are saying that they're seeing the same people commit the vast majority of crimes being committed are being committed by a small segment of repeat offenders.
Yeah.
So when
No,
cops are encountering violent criminals, they're encountering the same violent criminals over and over again. It's not like now there's more criminals. It's just that if you let the ones who do the heinous shit out, they're free to do it again, and that's
yeah.
what's been happening. So
And I actually saw Lauren Southern was on Tim Pool's
yeah, they're doing
podcast or whatever.
the Culture War podcast or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
But actually on the regular show as well.
Yep.
And she had mentioned that, yeah, a while back she got groped in like a grocery store or something.
Really?
And she like flipped out and called the cops and chased the guy down, and the guy got arrested. Apparently, that guy, she found out later, was released earlier that week on bail for exactly that crime, and already that day had groped 4 other women. And that's when she started doing the looking into it. And yes, some 40 people committed more than 3,000 offenses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and CMAC makes a good point. It's meant to create a sense of yes, exactly. They liberals want to instill a sense of chaos in the world so that people become more frightened and then more reliant on government to exert more control over everybody's lives, and which means gun control, control of online speech because that's speech is violence, of course.
It's just the way the Bolsheviks did it.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's textbook Marxism.
Sorry, did
So
I say 15,000? 3,000. 40 people committed 3,000 offenses.
yeah,
And this was, I think, yeah, in I don't know if it was Toronto specifically or in Canada or maybe Vancouver. I don't know if she was out in Vancouver, whatever. But yeah, it's like the same handful of people just keep getting released. I've heard of numbers like this.
um, to that point, though, with regards to the gun, Bill C-21, the Order in Council, and that sort of thing. So Bill C-21 was about banning a whole bunch more guns, including hunting rifles and sport shooting rifles that aren't used in crime at all, um, and and airsoft was part of that. And so I have guns, I have airsoft guns, and I was like, "Fuck, what am I going to have to give up now?" Well, thankfully, cooler heads prevailed and airsoft was removed from the legislation. So airsoft is out of C-21. So my sport exists for at least another few years. Is that part of the Pareto distribution?
Is
Oh,
that how
maybe.
you spell that?
Pareto?
I thought it was Pareto, but I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. That's a
Okay.
2080 thing, right?
No. What is it like? You ever look out like over a forest scene
Hmm.
and you see the canopy of trees
Hmm.
and it's all pretty uniform.
Hmm.
and then one tree sticks out and it's
Hmm.
like twice as tall as the others.
Right.
And then like way out in the background, there's another one just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's the Pareto distribution. That
Right.
one tree got a whole bunch over the others and
Yeah.
just shot up away from them, and very few will do that. So, like, what is it? It's like like an inverse square law?
Yeah.
Uh, that like the 1/10 of the people are going to do 10 times more than all the other people.
Right. It's yeah, that's the Pareto. I don't want to say principle. Yeah, it's the Pareto
Distribution.
distribution.
Yeah.
20% or 80% of all resources will naturally fall in line with 20% of a given group of things. So
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah,
Maybe that's why that the 80/20s
yeah,
across all your business stuff, right?
right. 80
Like,
20 is across, but it even goes down to, it's almost like an axiom of the universe, right?
yeah.
If you plant a bunch of, this was discovered by a mathematician looking at pea pods. What he found was that 20% of the plants produced 80% of the peas. The other 80% of it made up the remaining 20%. So when they tried to crossbreed the most prolific pea plants or pea vines or whatever they're called, pea shoots, um, what they would find is eventually it would even out that even amongst the best producing pea plants,
they'd still do that.
they would still do the 20/80 thing. So there would always be an unequal distribution of productivity, of resources, of what have you.
Yeah.
And
So
I guess people have looked into it even deeper, and they're saying, you know, even looking astronomically,
yeah.
20% of all of the stuff in the universe, or 80% of all the stuff in the universe, is confined to about 20% of all all
The
the
stars.
space, all the stars in the universe. See, all the energy being produced cosmically is coming out of about 20% of all the mass in the universe.
Yeah. So
So
isn't this an economic principle? Yes, it
it
is,
is an economic principle. Yes.
but it's because it's a universal law,
Yeah.
apparently, that like
Yeah.
all the gas giants or the enormous giant stars, the super, what are they called? Red giants and blue giants,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
even though they're the rarest, they have 80% of all the matter in
They
the
account
universe
for all the
inside of them,
mass. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yes, that seems to be the Pareto distribution, that some 40 people committing 3,000 crimes, while the other, 38 million people commit zero crimes
Right.
is, yes, very much seemingly
Or
the
the
Pareto distribution.
less prolific criminals aren't committing nearly as many crimes.
Right.
They do a single offense, or maybe they've done the same thing twice, but most, yeah, I mean, this is what I was hanging out with big brain old man. Yeah, that's right. Big brain. No, it's just gigantic forehead. I don't have a big brain. I just have a gigantic forehead. I thought we were going to talk about 8% of the crime being no. It's well, I don't know about crime, but 50% of the
Violence.
murders are committed by about 6.5% of the U.S. population, which is black men, right?
Yeah. And the stream gets cut.
It's not, but it's a true statistic based on the FBI's own findings. But
Statistics are racist.
yeah, everything's racist.
Numbers hate black people.
Everything's racist.
Uh, Talk more for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of criminality, though, it here's the thing: it stands to reason, given the percentage of people in a given ethnic community, we'll say, that live below the poverty line, live in areas that aren't well serviced by infrastructure, by design, mind you. This isn't like just accidental. It just and people, well, that's systemic racism. It's not systemic racism. It's bad policy by people who don't give a shit and are only in it to enrich themselves, and they don't care who gets hurt because of it, because chaos breeds fear, and the fear puts people to say, well, we just need to put more power into the hands of government so they can deal with this problem that they themselves created. So she numbers are racist. I killed him. Oh no, I sorry. Who'd you kill? Irving? No, he probably had to go take a dump. That was a quick dump. How was your dump?
No,
Everything
no, I
come
had
out
to
okay?
go
We had to
running
go
a
get. You had to go fill up. What are you
yeah.
drinking tonight, sir?
Oh, it's literally Diet Cola.
Oh, I am drinking a ridiculously large tumbler of water with a little bit of peach mango flavoring in it. Delicious.
Lovely, lovely. No, President's Choice Diet Cola.
Poxox says Craig gets it. With regards to policies, yeah, for sure. Hegelian dialectics are easy to spot when you know what it is. Yeah, and this is the problem. Like I was talking to Irvin before. Went out to dinner tonight with a friend of mine who's a staunch feminist, avowed liberal, and we go at it like cats and dogs whenever we're together. We're very respectful, but we completely disagree 100% on things. And I asked her towards the end of the night, because this was something that came up on that Culture War podcast, or it might have been Timcast IRL. If you could enshrine a document or a set of words somewhere in public schools to say this is the principles by which we are going to model our teaching of the young, kind of thing. Would you choose the Ten Commandments, or would you choose the what do you call it, the Communist Manifesto? And so she said, "Well, I don't know anything about the Communist Manifesto, so I can't speak to it. But I don't have any problem with the Ten Commandments because they're sound rules anyway, and they're sound rules that we've been following long before they're written down." I'm like, well, were we though? Were they? The Ten Commandments were written down for a reason. Obviously, people were killing each other for nothing. Obviously, people were stealing from one another and coveting one another. And the fact is that, like, the first four commandments have to do with honoring God, right? And I heard a good little description, or sort of like apology of that, because Bill Maher was talking about how those don't have nothing to do with morality or jurisprudence or anything. And whoever he was talking said, well, when you think about it, they kind of do, because they're guidelines for life, they're guidelines for how people should act, and the sense of not having any other gods before me, not carving graven images, not worshiping false prophets or that kind of thing, or false gods. The whole thing is don't elevate things of a worldly nature to the point that you aspire to have those things, or you aspire to those things. So greed, that kind of thing. Don't don't think that you should be worshiping a basketball star, or you should be worshiping somebody who's done very well in the stock market and has made lots of money.
Hmm.
That is false idolatry. The idea is that you should look to God as your model, and think about the hereafter as your goal. So they are a moral prescription that isn't about God's ego. They're more about, you should be looking to the best thing, not to the worldly thing that seems the most attractive. Anyway. And she says, "You sounds like you're becoming a Christian." I'm like, "No, I'm a cultural Christian." And she's like, "Oh God." I'm like, "No, you are too, because whether you're not, you want to admit that you believe these things are good, like not murdering, not stealing, you behave that way." So whether because she's atheist as well, and you may be atheist, I may be atheist, but we behave as though we're Christian. So anyway.
Y'all need Jesus.
Y'all just need Jesus.
uh, should we move on?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I again
Okay.
hijacked your stream, Betty. Sorry.
No, no. That's why you're here.
To hijack your stream?
I love it. We all love it.
Yeah.
Based Peckford, Brian Peckford, the last surviving signer of our Constitution,
That's right.
of
In
our
our charter.
Charter of Rights and Freedoms,
Yeah.
has backed Maxime Bernier. He has endorsed Maxime Bernier and the PPC. Why? Because Maxime Bernier is the only one who seems to understand the value of the bloody charter.
Exactly.
He even called out Pierre Poilievre very specifically for not fighting against the vaccine mandates, and instead condemning Trudeau for not getting vaccines fast enough.
Right.
That seemed to be his complaint.
Yeah. This is the problem. This is the problem with the conservative movement, the conservative party, when it seems its whole sort of strategy is to call out the liberal party for doing bad things, like doing things wrong or not doing things well enough. When in reality, and I guess that's the role of the official opposition, but in reality, a true conservative party that was the opposition would be calling out the moral failure of the liberal policy and the moral failure of the leadership in terms of it. They're stepping all over the Constitution, their rampant corruption, all that shit. But they don't, because the Conservative Party is just slightly less liberal party.
Yeah, and I keep seeing I don't know how I'm following this guy on Twitter, and I don't know what his name is or where else he posts, or but he argues with conservative supporters because he's a staunch PPC supporter,
Mm.
and they keep telling him, "You're going to split the vote. We have to vote conservative. We have to get Trudeau out." And it's
Yeah,
like, what good is getting Trudeau out? Like, it doesn't do any good to get Trudeau out to put in Trudeau light. It doesn't make a difference. And
not only. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
I had this thought, like, imagine the whole country is a bus, and we get to vote for the bus driver. And right now, the driver is driving the wrong fucking direction. Okay. So I want to cast my vote for the guy who's pledging to turn the bus around. He's going
Right,
to get us off the highway, right? At the next exit he can, as soon as we get him to be vote him in as driver, and he'll get back on the highway going the other direction.
right,
And the conservative supporters are saying, but he can't win. So we have to vote for the guy who's going to continue to drive the same direction, but 10 kilometers below the speed limit.
right.
What?
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking minds?
No, it's a good analogy, but you'll never convince you will never convince a conservative voter, a conservative NPC voter, that Polyev isn't, black to Trudeau's white or vice versa, right? They think, no, he's much better. Well, no, he's really not that much better. If you like, it's a false choice to say we need to vote for the blue because he's not red. As false as it is to say we need to vote for the red because we can't let the blues get back in power. Like, you're playing a stupid semantic game at that point. Do you have principles? Will you stand by your principles, and will you build a platform based on those principles? Polyev and the conservatives have always been, we need to be critics of the liberal establishment. We need to slow down their march towards, secular humanist dystopia. But we'll only push so far because they're not true conservatives. They don't hold conservative values. They're fiscally conservative, and they're therefore responsible government. No, government is the problem, and government needs to be completely rejigged, and you can't do it from an establishment that both believe in the sanctity of government and sanctity of the system, because they both suck at it, and they'll always suck at it. Yeah, the red and the blue are the same rotting corpse. It's true. I think politics, as usual, is coming to an end, which is why you're seeing all the corruption being laid out to bear. Like, it's never in my lifetime has there been such blatant corruption where the people who are found out to be corrupt don't fucking care that and they think they're above the law. Like, Biden's like this, Trudeau's like this, Macron is like this. All of them are just like, so what are you going to fucking do? You need us. We're the government. This is their mindset. And I think part of it is that they're part of me thinks, the cynical part of me thinks, they believe themselves to be so above everything and so well protected that they're like, who fucking cares if they know? And I'm going to get while the getting's good, and I'll make as much money and get myself protected as, so that when the shit finally hits the fan, I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, they are above the law because they bought that. Yeah, they write
So
the law to protect
that's
the law.
actually not like some kind of hyperbole or smart, like we installed corrupt judges who are on the dole. No, no, no. The government has basically what's that word? Given retainers to all the biggest, best law firms
Mm-hmm.
across Canada. So if you need to file suit against the government,
Can't because it's a conflict of interest.
yeah, the biggest, best firms already work for the government.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we can't take your case. Why? Well, we're already on retainer with the federal government, and that's the thing. Like, I think the federal government should have to rely on their own fucking lawyers. You shouldn't have to be able to hire us out. And the thing
Yeah,
is, like,
with my dollar
yeah,
to lawyer against me.
right,
Go fuck.
because most people who go and work for the government as public defenders, right, they do that because it's a shit job and it's the only thing they can get out of law school. So if the government had to rely on those folks, they'd have a much harder time fighting against people,
They
right?
just might.
Yeah. And the worst part about, taking the government to court is they have unlimited resources that you pay through your
Mhm.
taxes for them to fight you for a redress of your own grievances. So I think there should be a third party arbitration. We should set up a sister nation, right? And not have that sister nation set up us. Like we sort of like, you have like sister cities all over across the ground. So like Mississauga has a sister city somewhere in Singapore or something, right? Um, you set it up so that when there is a dispute between citizens and their government, it's handled by a neutral third party.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying the UN, because fuck the UN, they're all a
No.
bunch of scumbags. I'm talking about some other entity, another, I don't know, group of. It should be handled by our Supreme Court, but they're all fucking bought and sold already. So
Yeah,
we got a
didn't our
handful of
Supreme
Supreme Court justices that are actually reasonable and believe in the Canadian Constitution, but most of them are like they side overwhelmingly with the government in most cases.
didn't our Supreme Court make some argument against the parent in BC of the trans child when they basically upheld the provincial ruling that he's not allowed to talk to journalists, he's not allowed to go on the internet and say his mind,
Yeah,
saying no, 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 we this isn't an infringement of the freedom of speech or the spirit of free speech because we haven't infringed on his right to speak, only his ability to do so. Yeah,
what's
right.
the fucking difference?
The distinction to me is like chaining a person to the floor, then opening the door and saying, "You may leave. You are allowed. Therefore, you are not imprisoned, and I have
Right,
not kidnapped you and locked you in a dungeon in my
right.
basement." Right?
It's like coercion isn't forcing anybody to do things.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Crazy.
yeah. Uh,
No, you're right, Pox, in terms of what a retainer is, but the retainer also implies a working relationship with that client.
yeah.
Right? So you can't very well say, oh well, I took 50,000 from the guy and it's sitting there in like a fund. Should he ever need me, and then all of a sudden turn on him and say, here's your retainer back, because the purpose of the retainer is to secure their services, right? So
Yes, and we also have Costin in the chat.
yes, we do. Good day, Costa.
Finally,
Someone called Rona Hogland. Hello, Rona. I don't know who Rona is. She been in before?
the name is familiar.
It does
Yes.
sound. It does sound familiar. Yeah. Love, love, love this combo, and love you both. XO. Oh, thanks, Rana. Rana, is it Rana or
Toucan.
Rona?
Looks like Rana from here.
Yeah, double N makes me think that the O is a short
Soft O,
O. Yeah.
short O. Yeah. Um,
What did Costin say? Hey, Pox Toxic. You say anything else?
oh, just hellos all around.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but I did like this. How's there 11 people here and me and C-Mac are the only ones talking? Feds. Stuck my balls, feds.
C-Mac's so based.
Oh. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen over the coming months. And geez, how long is it till an election?
2025. Yeah, not much longer. It'll come here before you know it. If we survive that long, I still hold that 2023 will be the end of life as we know it on planet Earth. So things will change so drastically we won't even recognize us anymore.
The
Holy
other
heck, says John Holborn. I've been on the internet too long. Yeah,
I think that's a reference to the flag.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You don't see
no,
it often anymore. The Kekistani flag.
no, like I mean, for, for the right, it's a dead meme, so they hate it, right? For the left, it's like obviously, white supremacist Nazi
Of course.
paraphernalia, like it's a dog whistle for Nazism.
How can it
And
be white supremacist
but
when
here's
Pakistanis are green?
but
Hello?
here's the best part. Not only does this flag troll, therefore, both of them, I fucking hate green. I can't fucking
I
stand
know
it.
you
I
said that.
own no green clothing, so it trolls me too.
What color? Your eyes are brown, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I have green eyes, so green actually really looks good on me. I like wearing green. So see, green eyes,
Oh,
kind
very
of
nice.
hazel, maybe. I don't know.
Pretty.
Yeah, they're kind of pretty. I'd fuck me. Anyway, sweet blue. Who's got blue eyes? Stick with me, kid. You'll go far. Uh, no, I like green. Green's always been my color. Although I prefer red because Patriot. As for not who for whom the flag trolls, it trolls for you, trolls for thee. Bragg has crazy eyes. If you were a horse, I'd smack you looking like that.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Drop me with a good time, C-Mac. That's fun. I like John. He's a poet. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, no, 2025 is too long. It's so far away. And this is something crazy. The other day at work was doing some like training thing, have to sign and date it. And I dated it, handed it over, and went, "Oh, you're gonna have to give me that back." And he's looking and he goes, "Why 2019?" Right?
Yeah. Why are you thinking
I
like
didn't date it
2 years ago?
2022 months later. I
Yeah, yeah,
dated
yeah.
it 2019. I'm taking it back. That was the last good year. Like, that was it. That was the last good year,
There you go.
man.
2025 is going to be lit. Yes. 2025 will be lit. We'll be living in a
Probably by nuclear fire.
yeah, we'll be living in a burned out wasteland. There'll be fires everywhere. Yeah, radioactive fire. This is fine. I'm
Yeah, like, I
currently
mean,
okay with how things are unfolding.
I already like I took some notes this week, so we actually have stuff to talk about. Didn't even haven't even thought about Russia, right?
Russia, Russia, Russia.
Or this Neely
Yeah,
guy.
the Kremlin getting droned, eh?
Oh yeah.
So okay, so
Really shitty
everybody
drone.
in the West is saying it's a false flag. Russia did it to themselves. Yeah, that's very well possible, but it's also not beyond the capabilities of Ukraine to do it. And uh, uh, Putin's blaming the U.S. They're saying the U.S. put the Ukrainians up to it and actually gave them
Probably.
the shit they needed to do. They probably did. They probably did. They've been putting them up to the entire fucking war the whole time.
Yeah, like I'm sure the CIA is involved.
Oh yeah. Well, they're about that competent. Didn't they try and kill Castro with a fucking exploding cigar? They did. They knew he liked cigars. So they thought we'll get a cigar with like a little explosive in it. It'll just blow up in his face.
They bought their own
Like
super
like
spy
like a
force.
like a freaking Three Stooges video or a movie, you know.
The dog in Ukraine with the nuke out the.
And America's like, this is fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then that Neely guy
Neely. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The guy, yeah,
on
yeah,
the subway.
yeah.
Oh,
And
all the
everybody,
memes that
yeah,
Pox dropped us. He didn't drop the one where it says nobody, silence. Right? New York subways, and it's Guile and Michael Jackson on the subway in like one of those 16-bit,
yep,
yeah, 16-bit subway backgrounds.
yeah.
Oh,
I like the meme of the dinosaur stand up.
oh, that that's such a great joke.
That made me howl.
Like it's terrible, but it's great. Yeah, it's like a tornado. It's awesome and terrible. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's Pox has got all the best of those. The Mossad assassination attempts have been sucking lately. Not just the U.S. leaves; it's NATO. Isn't Canada part of it? Yeah,
yeah,
but come on, who runs NATO seriously? It's the U.S. The U.S. uses NATO so it can fucking blame other countries for saying it's not just us; it's these other countries. But in reality, it's the U.S. Let's be real.
no, I mean they're the only ones that pay the bills, right?
Yeah, the only ones that pay the bills are the ones who supply most of the firepower. They're the ones who pretty much institute every conflict that they drag NATO into. Like, when was the last time Germany decided to get involved in a conflict that required the support of every other fucking NATO member? Hmm. No, it's the U.S. who institutes or instigates all this shit.
Yeah, but the Neely guy, still thinking about that. You know, people had called the
I'm
police
not
like
saying
3 or
we're
4
not
times
pieces
on
of
him.
shit, Pox. I'm not saying that we're not pieces of shit. I'm saying NATO is a NATO is a vehicle for U.S. interventionism around the globe, or in Europe anyway. I guess the Clinton hitmen are busy. Well, they don't have any more money in their foundation, so they're probably working for other people.
Can't keep the hitman on retainer anymore, eh?
That's right.
Ah, I hope they lose reserve currency status. I mean,
They
technically,
will. They
haven't
technically,
haven't they already?
essentially, they have.
Like
Maybe
it's
not on
happened.
paper, maybe not officially, but more nations around the world are trading things other than the U.S. dollar right now.
Yeah, that
U.S.
they're like BRICS is its own thing, but even though India is part of BRICS, they made a deal separate from BRICS with Malaysia to trade in rupees,
Yeah,
right? And nobody in BRICS cares. Like, yeah, cool, do what you want. It's your money,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't see the ruble becoming a new reserve currency, or the yuan. Maybe the yuan, but um, yeah.
it's going to have to go back to precious metals.
I would hope, or maple syrup. Did I tell you my plan?
You have, but go through it again because it actually makes sense. Like it might be a thing that you could do.
Oh no, I mean for Revelations, for the next airsoft event.
Oh no, I thought
So
you were
I
going to
went
tell us
by.
your plan to make syrup like a maple backed currency.
Oh no, I was talking about my plan. So, folks, if you're not aware, I go to a airsoft event. It's a storyline event in Virginia every year. This one's called Revelations Omega, so it might be the very last one they do. But I think they just wanted to use it instead of 13. But anyway, so Revelations Omega, uh, it's the post-apocalyptic kind of like role play airsoft event. And last time I went as Canada Man. This time, Canada Man's becoming much more realized, and I'm going to take with me these little test tube vials that I picked up at like a industrial supply store. I'm going to fill them with maple syrup and put little labels on them. This says, Forces Canada and Government of Canada super soldier syrup formulation, and I'll have a bunch of different formulations, and then on the label it'll have a QR code. So if you scan the QR code with your phone, it'll take you to a national film board video of like Hinterland Who's Who, the Beaver, or Log Driver's Waltz, or the sweater with the Rocket Richard, a bunch of little NFB shorts, and I'll hand them out to different people at Rev, and then they can enjoy a little bit of Canadiana. I think that'll be fun.
Injured? Pour a little syrup on it.
Yeah.
People don't know that about our country. That's something people say when you you fall down and scrape a knee. It's not that bad. Pour a little syrup on it.
Yeah. Put a little syrup on it.
Yeah.
CMAC is trying to be a post-apocalyptic nymph fairy tale. Why not? What girl doesn't like being a wood fairy during the apocalypse? There you go. Hey, I watched a movie the other night. We're going way off on tangents. I'm sorry. I
That's
keep
all right. That's all right.
I watched a movie the other night called Steakland. Have you ever seen it?
Steakland, no.
Yeah, steak as in steak through the heart.
Okay.
It's a vampire post-apocalypse movie about this guy who basically he tries to save a family from a bunch of vampires killing them. They kill the entire family, including the little baby, except for the teenage son who went out looking for his dog just as they attacked. Right, and the father makes this like vampire hunter whose name in the movie is just called Mister. He says, "Take care of him." So for the entire movie, he's sort of training this kid so he can become self-reliant. And the guy barely says 3 words at any time, right? Anyway, it's really good. It's like a B movie, but it's so fucking good. It was made in 2010 and they've made a sequel in 2016 called Stakeland 2. If you get the chance, if you have Plex on your TV or you get Plex on your computer or whatever, find Stakeland and watch it. You won't be disappointed. It's really fucking good.
It sounds kind of familiar, like I heard about it and went, man, maybe later.
Yeah, well, when you have some time, give it a watch. It's really good.
Yeah, no, okay. That's not now post-apocalyptic. Did the vampires cause the apocalypse?
No, I think the vampires are like a virus thing. But yeah, the vampires being unleashed is what
Was
caused
the
the
apocalypse.
apocalypse. Yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly.
All right.
And they're kind of like zombie vampires. They're not smart. They just have a craving for blood, and they have
Right.
like pronounced fangs in the front. And so currency, when you're a hunter, you go and you collect the fangs of every vampire you kill, and you can use that for money in this post-apocalypse.
Huh.
So yeah. Anyway, good, worth watching. I would highly recommend watching it. It's really good. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Well, why don't we go on to this here?
All right, let's do it.
Siding with China. So even though it has now been proven that family members of the conservative MP were being threatened by Chinese government and that the liberals knew and CSIS knew and everyone knew, they did fucking nothing about it. They're still not expelling any Chinese diplomats because Melanie Jolie thinks there may be consequences for doing so.
And what are the consequences for not doing so?
Oh, yeah, wow.
I mean,
I
we
don't
got
know.
the Michaels back, right? The Michaels came back. So, do we have any more prisoners over there?
Geez, I mean, maybe they'll start like installing military bases to protect the resources that our fucking government sold them
Yeah,
here, right? Maybe
yeah.
they'll start opening secret police stations in fucking Markham to try and control the ethnic Chinese population of Canada.
You think?
Oh, wait.
Here's the thing, and the problem is that the NPCs don't know or care. Like my father, I tell my father about this, and he's like, "I didn't know that. I didn't hear anything about that." That's right, Dad, because you watch fucking CBC. They're not going to tell you this shit. Stop watching TV. I keep telling my dad, stop watching TV. It's making you stupid. Anyway. And that's why wooden rosary beads in your shotgun shells is always a good idea.
Just in case.
Couldn't hurt, right?
Say a little prayer for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I'm convinced they simply don't care because the threats are being made against a conservative MP. Right?
No, they don't care because the Leafs almost made the playoffs. That's why. Because there's a new series on Netflix, did you hear? And the Leafs are doing really well. This is why they don't fucking care. They can't be bothered to care because they're being placated with bread and circuses, baby. That's
Oh,
it.
you're still talking about the NPCs. I was talking about the Liberal Party.
Oh,
The
wow.
CSIS informed the Liberals, and the Liberals did not care because it's an opposition member. They were like, "Oh, yeah, that's good, fine, no
Why
worries."
would they Why would they threaten a liberal member? The liberals are going to vote in lockstep with the Chinese agenda because
Yeah,
Justin Trudeau's on side of the Chinese agenda. So yeah,
yeah, uh,
no, we live, and it's funny, right? This feminist friend of mine who I disagree with vehemently on a lot of stuff. She like we had more points of agreement tonight than I think at any other time. I said Canada's a dictatorship, and she's like, "You're damn right it is." And I'm like, "So why do you fucking have so much faith in government for crying out loud?" Anyway,
yeah.
she's still at that point where she thinks we just need to get the right people in there. No, 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 no. There are no right people. We just need to limit the amount the government has on the impact of people's lives. That's it. We need to reduce the role of government in people's lives. Everything would be much better if there were less government. Government is the source of all our fucking problems. And if we had less of it, we'd be a hell of a lot happier, more prosperous, we'd be richer. Anyway,
Yeah, uh, better off. We'd be better off.
we would be. Yeah.
So should I then move on to this one?
Sauce? You got
Yeah.
sauce for
So
that?
show us the sauce. So okay, this is from a guy named Michael Geist. I don't know him very well, like his work,
Yeah.
but uh, earlier today, the Liberal Party convention approved a resolution that seeks to, quote, hold online information services accountable for the veracity of material published on their platforms and to limit publication only to material whose sources can be traced. Now, if anyone knows anything about journalism, that is a big fucking problem. Your journalism is illegitimate unless you sell out your source.
That's what they're trying to say. No,
Yeah,
and I think it goes even more sinister that they want the government to be the verifiable source of all information.
yeah. That's actually something else they've been working on. It's not in this article here,
Right.
but this was just like asking Facebook or Twitter or YouTube to check the veracity and to be accountable for the veracity of the material it publishes. Like it goes back to that. I had mentioned this to you earlier. The Cheese Whiz rumor.
Hmm.
I don't know if any of you have heard of the Cheese Whiz rumor. There was a thing going around when I was still in high school that if you take 3 ingredients out of Cheese Whiz, you're left with pure plastic. And people believed it, right? And it's completely untrue. It's all bullshit, but people believed it, and the rumor was going round and round and round. And the thing is, now that we have the internet, that stuff goes around the world in a day,
Yeah.
right? On I used to I only use Facebook to keep in contact with a couple of people. I don't really use it anymore. But I remember when it first started, I was looking, people were posting all of this shit that was basically the Cheese Whiz rumor,
Hmm.
right? Like there were arguments over butter versus margarine, and people were posting all this information that's complete bullshit,
Right.
right? Like someone posted pictures of ants
Hmm.
and plates, one with butter, one with margarine, and more of the ants are going to the butter than the margarine.
Sure.
And the claim on the picture is that, and the ants that ate the margarine all died. But it's like, hold on, I'm a fucking nerd. I know about ants. Ants don't eat anything they find. They can't. They have to bring it back to the colony and process all that shit into food that they can eat. The ants didn't eat any of it. What the fuck are you? And depending
Yeah.
on what cycle, what stage their colony is going through, they may be more attracted to proteins and fats or sugars,
Right.
right? So they'll swarm different things depending on what's needed in the colony at the
Right.
time, right? So I knew all this, and like it was like, what are you? it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
The other thing about how oh, margarine is actually only one atom different from plastic. This was a perfect mirror of the Cheese Whiz rumor. And again,
Right.
being a fucking nerd, I was like, hold on, that is absolutely untrue. Plastic molecules are rigid rings.
Yeah.
Okay, they're like octagons and hexagons and stuff, right?
But also plastics. There's lots of plastics made of lots of different compounds.
Sure,
So
sure.
to
Most
say, oh, it's
like
just like plastic. What plastic? Which plastic are you talking about?
and the oils in margarine are strings,
Yeah.
right? They're long, loose, flexible strings.
Means that's why you can spread it.
But it also doesn't matter because one atom difference can be all the difference. Like one atom is the difference between breathable oxygen and water,
Right.
and it's the difference between water and bleach,
Right.
right?
It's the
So
difference. It's the difference between lead and gold. Lead
it
and gold are a
changes.
single atom
Yes,
apart.
yes, it changes, or they're closer. They're a single
An
proton
electron,
apart.
proton apart. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So like one atom, one proton can be a huge fucking difference. Uh, I heard it was you had three more ingredients to make it into plastic. Okay, yeah. See, but the cheese
Yeah,
whiz,
one of them being
right?
plastic. No, well, that's like vaping, right? I remember people. This girl I used to work with at the office back when we were back in the office. She caught her kid vaping and was really upset. And I'm like, well, would you rather have caught your kid smoking? Yes. I don't want him to get popcorn lung. Well, you'd rather than get COPD or cancer. It's like, no, they got, what's in that? It's got antifreeze in it. It's got polyethyl glycol, right? And the reason that polyethyl glycol is also used in antifreeze is so people didn't go blind from drinking antifreeze anymore because they switched it to polyethyl glycol as opposed to what it was before. I can't remember what it was before. But if you drank antifreeze before, you would go blind. If you drink antifreeze now, you'll get an upset tummy and you might get drunk, but you're probably not going to get drunk.
Does
Uh,
it still taste good though?
Only the press don't taste good, man. Don't drink any of that Pennzoil shit. Um, but
But
yeah,
wait,
so I'm like, look, polyethyl glycol is a food grade additive. It's meant to keep things from freezing, right? It's a what do you call it? Yeah, it's like an antifreeze. You're right. It is absolutely an antifreeze, but that's so that it stays viscous in cold temperatures, and so that you don't have to keep it cold. You can have it at room temperature, and it's shelf stable.
yes,
Like blue Kool Aid, maybe I don't know.
tastes like blue Kool-Aid.
This tastes like deliciousness.
But the government wants to hold Facebook and Twitter and YouTube accountable for chasing down the Cheese Whiz rumor. Like, are you out of your fucking gourds? The fuck? Yeah, you know,
So, what is the recourse for when journalists lie?
yeah.
Well, I mean, uh, the recourse for the everyday consumer of news media is to be media savvy. Like you can read something and understand that that they're framing it in such a way as to put forward a specific narrative, and if they're doing that, you have to be immediately suspicious of the veracity of their claims. Because if it was just simply straight fact, who, what, where, when, and how, then they wouldn't need to frame it, right? If they really just want to report on happenings, they wouldn't need to frame it in such a way. So yeah, my hope is that people just become more media savvy, and I think part of that comes from the disinterest in people even paying attention to the news anymore, like mainstream. Methylene glycol will make you blind. Ethylene glycol will kill you, and polyethylene glycol is a clean. Uh,
Thank
this
you,
is
Ajax. I've seen the inside of this man's garage. It's just a workshop.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
this is uh, uh, polypropyl.
prop.
polypropylene. I can't remember what it is. I'm not a scientist, but it's food grade. That's all you got to know. Like everything in this is food grade. It's vegetable glycerin and polypropyl polypropyl glycol. One of the glycols, anyway.
Waiting for portable smoke machines. You can hook them to your belt to be mysterious.
The same shit that's in fog machines is similar to what's in this. The stuff
Yeah,
that goes in fog machines is in this.
they
That's
just
what
blow
makes
that
it
into the
so.
crowd. You breathe it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Ajax, which one gets me drunk?
Fuck drinking. Just huff chemicals. Just huff glue. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Airplane. You've seen the movie Airplane, right?
Not for a long time.
Those spoof disaster movies are fucking great.
Oh, but like, yeah, no, the absolute bullshit that just goes around the internet so quickly, and the government wants the platforms to chase it down.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense, right? So basically, you're not allowed to post anything that isn't pre-government approved.
Right. What does that sound like?
Sounds
China. Sounds like China.
like Bolsheviks. Fuck vaping, just huff paint and engine cleaner. Craig
There it
Bragg,
is.
2023.
Ingredients: vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, flavor, nicotine. May contain traces of nuts. That's what's in here.
Jeez, he's
Propylene
onto us.
glycol. So you shouldn't drink it, but you can vape it, no problem. Still not in the Alberta Gulag. Are you sure you're not all feds?
He's onto us.
Shit. Shut it down.
We've been made.
That'd be Rama Rama.
Mix all three thoroughly and enjoy.
Propylene glycol on my juice label. Yeah, that's right. It's food grade. I'm telling you, man. I think when they say so it says on here, poison, do not swallow. If you swallow, call poison control. That's the nicotine, like straight up nicotine.
Yeah, that much
Bad for
nicotine.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 3 milligrams nicotine by volume, but or per milliliter, 3 milligrams per milliliter. So, but
for real though, huffing pure ether is straight fire. I'm told you need a little lithium though to level out, so you're not just like
you have a seizure. Yeah.
the
Propylene
dirge.
glycol is used in hospitals to clean respiratory equipment. That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, I guess they're not real worried if any of it gets vaporized and goes into the fucking respiratory system while they're,
It's a surfactant. I don't know what that is. Is it not? Yeah, maybe. I guess what it purifies or it kills bacteria on surfaces. That makes sense.
So vapors can't get COVID.
There was a study. Did I tell you about this study? I think I mentioned it in one of the streams way back when COVID was a thing. They did a study with rats where they exposed them to the ingredients in vape, actually propylene glycol, prior to infecting them with they aerosolized propylene glycol, right?
Yeah.
Into 2 different groups of rats, right? Or into one group of rats, they did the propylene glycol, and the other they didn't, so they were the control. Then they exposed them to viral pneumonia. The ones who were exposed to propylene glycol survived viral pneumonia. The ones who weren't died. So propylene glycol will prevent you from lung infection.
Ether was why we wore masks in 2020, right?
That's right. He put a little ether on the mask and just.
I did study. You don't get COVID if you're huffing using your mask. 100% of the subjects didn't get infected. I didn't get to go as long as I smoke in public. Everyone stays 6 feet away from me.
There you go.
Uh,
Yeah, and you're at least 30 feet away from a hospital door, so you're not going to get exposed.
yep, yep. Oh, fuck.
Emax smokes. I'm telling you, man, you guys are made for each other.
Why do you always try to hook me up with internet redheads?
That's right. Tegan was a redhead too, right? That's right. Tegan was into you too, but then she turned out to be crazy. So,
We didn't.
C-Mac, you're not crazy, are you?
Where were we? Yeah, COVID. Oh yeah. While we're talking, it's strange. It's in a strange place of flux right now, COVID, because while it's all trying to be memory hold,
Bragg, stop
fucking with the
fucking with the
timeline.
timeline. Oh, shit.
It's trying to be memory hold on one side,
Yeah.
but on the other, there is still a hashtag on Twitter, COVID is airborne. Yeah. They're still talking about like new variants and giving them like weirder names now.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
We
but
should
also
start, we should start a viral trend, like a total fake variant of COVID. We'll write up a fake abstract that's like a study. It looks like a legit study, but we'll call it. What should we call it? The Keck variant, or something like that. Something like no. It has to be something that insiders will know, but is obscure enough to the NPCs that they'll just fucking eat it up.
the wag me variant.
The Wag Me variant.
Yeah.
I don't get the Wag Me reference though.
We're all gonna make it.
There you go. We're all gonna make it. Yeah. And I'm not a redhead anymore. See, Mac, make him get rid of that yee ass haircut. What kind of fuck? And I'm not a redhead anymore. COVID is like herpes now. Everyone who has it's just pretending it doesn't exist. It's dark brown now, and it's awesome. Oh, good for you. That's great. Wag me. The Wag Me variant. We should call it. Yeah, the Wag Me variant.
All
How
caps.
about an acronym for how about it be called, I'm going to take shit for this, HDNW, the HDNW variant. Oh, you should know this one.
Why don't I know it? I don't understand.
Bad guy from WW2 did nothing wrong.
Oh, oh, that guy.
Yeah. Wag me.
Oh. So, climatology gone wrong?
Yes, you were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, so some of the scientists up in Greenland who are doing the ice core drilling are pointing out that, yeah, we can tell what the temperatures were like over the past 10,000 years longer. And that the stupidest thing is that, like, the first time humans had a global capacity to start accurately taking temperatures around the world and comparing them was like 1870-ish,
Okay, yep.
which turns out was the coolest point in the last 10,000 years.
Okay.
Basically all of human history. So of course, it always looks like the planet is getting warmer because the trend has been basically getting warmer for some 14,000 years, and there was a dip a couple hundred years ago, and now, yes, it's getting back to the right place, like the way it's been going. It's just so ridiculous that we're pushing this climate nonsense, and the reason that it keeps coming up for me is because it is directly affecting my life. My fucking grocery store doesn't have goddamn plastic bags anymore, right? at least some of the shitty grocery stores are carrying the paper bags now,
Yes.
which is
Tiger,
cool.
Giant
Giant
Tiger
Tiger,
used paper bags, which is good
yeah.
for them, man.
But LCBO is actually going to get rid of their paper bags. But why? Like the paper's recyclable and biodegradable,
Right.
and
And
what's the fucking
it's probably made from recycled material already.
so what's the fucking problem, right? Uh, they just I imagine they don't want to spend the money on it,
Yeah, it's probably good, but bad.
right? And yeah, but I mean, this whole thing with the single-use plastics, no plastic straws, and now no plastic bags at the grocery stores. I'm sorry, there is not one person in the whole country that treats the bag from the grocery store as a single-use plastic. Every one of those bags is used as a fucking bin liner.
Right.
It's used twice, okay? And now you have to use the stupid fucking nylon bags,
Yep.
okay?
And
Now
they're all
here's
made from plastic.
they're all petroleum products, but the nylon bag is not recyclable nor biodegradable. And now you have to buy plastic bags as bin liners that are single use.
Well, that was the whole like prior to like the 1960s or 70s. Everyone had galvanized cans they put on the end of their driveway or on their stoop or whatever. And your garbage bag was the paper bag you got from the grocery store that you threw all your coffee grounds and your fucking eggshells and all the other packaging. And packaging, there was a lot less packaging back then too. Uh, things were basically they were pressed cardboard with a little bit of cellophane over top of them. Now everything is like styrofoam with cellophane over top of it. And yeah, no, like this idea that we've made steps to make things more environmentally friendly by introducing recyclables is nonsense. As a matter of fact, it's probably way worse for the environment than it ever was. Deposit bottles were much more environmentally friendly because you could reuse the fucking bottles.
Yeah.
If they got broken, they could be ground up, melted down, and turned into new bottles. So, and people would return them and they would just wash them and refill them. Reusing, there's always, I was always taught there's a hierarchy to the 3 R's of reduce, reuse, recycle. You're supposed to reduce how much you consume first. You should reuse what you can.
Yeah.
And then those things you can't reuse, then you recycle. But instead, we put all of our eggs into the recycle basket and think, well, just make stuff out of materials that you can recycle and it'll all be good. No, we need to reduce what we're doing. And,
Because it's mostly not cost effective. Apparently, the only thing that you can properly recycle for profit
mhm.
is aluminum.
Yeah,
That you get so much of it back, so much of it is reusable that yeah, it's totally worth it to do the recycling, and you can make money selling recycled aluminum. But like most of the plastic, no. Uh, most of the glass, no.
nope.
Right?
Yeah, the
Um,
thing that drives me nuts about these nylon cloth bags is we do Instacart, so we order our groceries through an app, and then they go and get the stuff, and they deliver it to us. So we'll get a bunch of groceries from Walmart. We've got so many of those stupid blue nylon weaved Walmart bags. They're all going in the garbage because we can't possibly reuse that many fucking bags.
yeah,
So it makes no sense.
yeah. So they've done nothing
Yep.
except virtue signal
Yep. Essentially, what it comes
and
down to.
cost you money.
Yep.
So every time I go to the grocery store, I make a big huff. I tell them I want the plastic bags back, and I'll even pay, you
10
know,
cents or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
10 cents even instead of the 5 cents if the grocery store will nut up and give me goddamn plastic bags.
Makes sense.
Because I don't think there's actually a law. I don't think they passed anything that says you can't serve a customer a plastic bag. I think they're just trying to get ahead of it because they're certain it's coming,
Yeah.
right? But y'all don't just toss your trash into the storm drain.
Shitter's full. Your fucking uncle, cousin Eddie or whatever the fuck's name is, draining his fucking chemical toilet into the storm drain.
I never understood the bag issue. In Greece, we use bioplastic bags that are way stronger and biodegrade.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we fucking get those? Furry from Finley. Been a while. In Australia, they still have plastic bags. Lucky for now. Uh, your crazy country is as fucking memeable and non-existent as ours. Uh, there are many people in the world who believe neither of our countries exist. Yeah, but they also have big spiders. 19 of the 20 most venomous, toxic animals live in Australia.
Yeah.
Finally made it to your stream. Yeah, it's been quite a while, quite a while. I don't know what time it is. Is it super early morning or super late night or the same thing? Is that the same thing? Yeah, it's all about money. In Chicago, they charge us 7 cents for each bags, and it goes to the city coffers. Yeah, like that's what was happening here. That you have to charge for the bag, so there's a penny of tax that goes to the government. And yeah, like I mean, but now that like this the sheer stupidity that like, what are you gonna do for your garbage can? You know,
Nothing.
the one you keep under the sink. You have to go buy plastic bags that are now only one use instead of the two uses we used to get out of it.
Yeah, and that's what I understand. Like, can you imagine being the marketing guy when Glad garbage bags first came out? Okay, so here's the thing: people are gonna buy this thing to throw it away. What? Yeah, yeah, they buy it. They buy a box of like 60 of them, and every week they just throw it away. Like, why the fuck would anybody do that? Oh, because it's a good place to store your garbage. People already have a good place to store their garbage. It's called a galvanized garbage can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But those things, they rust and stuff leaks out of them. Yeah, that's why they put their shit into what do you call it? Paper bags, so it's easier to carry and stuff. Yeah, yeah, but I know we'll make it law that they have to use plastic fucking garbage bags. That's how they did it, man. Paper
Yeah.
straws suck worse than dicks. What? Yeah, paper straws are gay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid. Like, it actually changes the flavor of your drink,
Yep.
right? Like,
Makes it taste
what?
like you're drinking Pepsi with fucking wood pulp in it.
No, yeah. The only time I had one was when I went to A&W for the first time in a long time,
Yeah.
and yeah, got a root beer. Fucking ruined it. Just
Oh, I can imagine. I don't even like root beer, but can you imagine with root beer that tastes like paper? Ugh.
right. And it wasn't one of the like standalone A&Ws either. It was one in a mall.
Oh, okay.
So
Even worse.
yeah, because if you go to like a standalone A&W and
Yeah.
you order like an enormous root beer, they pull a stein out of the freezer,
Yeah.
right? So you have an enormous glass stein, and yeah, it's fucking fantastic. Uh, are you looking through memes there?
No, I'm playing games. Sorry, man. So distracted. I'm
That's
addicted to this
terrible.
goddamn Marvel Snap game. It's all good. Sorry. I'm gonna
Glad
lose anyway.
because God, the climate it bugs me so much, and
You ever
they're
watch
trying.
you ever watch the I think the channel's called CDN Reports. It's the Climate Nexus, where he basically debunks a lot of the climate disaster shit.
I have not, but send us a link.
Let me see if I can find it here. YouTube.
Bragg loves
Bragg
playing
loves playing.
solitaire.
No, I'm not playing solitaire. I'm playing Marvel Snap. It's fucking addictive, man. CBN. There we are. Climate Discussion Nexus is what they're called. The
Okay.
guy does some really good videos. I will share it into the stream.
Because yeah, it's just ridiculous how people are so bought into the lie. Like it you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna ban oil and gas. In a country where the temperature can kill you 9 months of the year, right? Like you won't be able to buy a gasoline powered car after 2030. That's the plan here.
Yeah.
How many fucking gas stations are gonna have to shut down? Like that's people's livelihoods, you know?
Yeah.
Like are the hairspray ozone thing. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, the hole in the ozone layer.
CFCs are ruining the ozone layer. Okay, we'll take the CFCs out. No, wait. You can't actually solve the problem. We want to be angry about it. That's what it came down to, essentially.
I don't want a solution. I want to be angry.
That's right.
They're saying paper straws are like sucking dicks, and this guy's like, if you don't know the difference between a paper straw and sucking dick, I'd like to buy you a soda.
Good one, John. Nice, nice. Strip club electric car charges is where I've invested all my money. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, this is another thing. Electric cars are one thing in a tiny country in Europe where you drive across the country in 2 hours. Like,
Right.
you know, I I can get in a car and drive for 10 or 12 hours,
Yep.
but when my gas tank empties in 7 or 8, I can pull over and fill it up again and just keep going for another 2 or 4.
Right.
But your electric car, your battery runs out. Well, yeah, you got to park it overnight now.
Yeah.
It's like, and they've got like a generation of kids convinced that they're gonna die.
Oh, I know.
And I'm sure you've seen it that every time I catch some like climate alarmist bullshit on the internet, I post that list of claims from the 1960s on
Yeah.
of all the the bad. Like the only thing that climatologists know about the climate is that there's way too much fucking information to make predictions. That's the only thing they know. They can look backwards in time all they want. They can look at levels of carbon dioxide and methane and whatever. None of it correlates properly, and none of it is useful information to see the future,
Right.
which is what you need to call it a functional model. You need to be able to predict outcomes. And they can't. They never have. And it's not even like they haven't made accurate predictions on a timeline. They've made zero accurate predictions.
No, I know.
Zero.
I know. Yeah. Because the models are screwed.
They're imaginary. They're all fucking imaginary.
Yeah, they're based on a false premise. Here's a. Let's see if you guys. I hope you can hear this. Hey Google, what percentage of the atmosphere is composed of carbon dioxide?
0.04%. According to State of the Planet, Columbia University, CO2 makes up only about 0.04% of the atmosphere, and water vapor can vary from 0 to 4%.
Interesting. So, by reducing carbon dioxide emissions, we'll save the planet. And the only way to reduce carbon dioxide emissions is to give the government more money. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. And the fact that people believe this shit and are like, well, we gotta do our part. I don't mind paying 5 cents extra for gas every 3 months. Gotta do your part, save the planet. You fucking zombie. You know what? You want to help reduce carbon dioxide emissions? Plant a fucking tree.
Yep.
Go and plant a tree. If everybody planted a fucking tree, I mean, Canada's already at a carbon net zero. Like we scrub more carbon from the atmosphere than we produce. This country, in all its landmass, scrubs more carbon than we produce by a large
Yeah.
margin. By the way, um, so if everybody planted a fucking tree and kept the tree alive for a good number of years, it wouldn't be an issue. But the government doesn't get any money that way. If the government
Yeah.
really wanted to fight carbon emissions or fight carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, they would issue everybody a gift card to go to Terra greenhouses and buy a little fucking cedar tree or buy like a sapling of a birch tree and say, go and plant this somewhere on your property. If you're a homeowner, you get
Mhm.
this, plant it somewhere on your property. And if you don't own a home, you are given license on this day. We'll call it tree planting day, to go and plant it in a public park somewhere. Here are the restrictions of how close you can plant them to one another, blah, 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 blah. And then we have these nice big forested parks in 20 years, and we're scrubbing even more CO2.
Yeah, and when you say large margin, I don't know if you're aware, it's actually between 19 and 20 times.
Yeah,
Not percent,
no,
time.
times
Yeah.
more than we produce. So if we produce,
Mhm.
you know, 1,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide a year, we scrub more than 20,000
And by
metric tons of
we
carbon dioxide.
mean the 500,000,000,000 trees in our country do that.
I mean, our landmass, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, that's basically it. Like, people don't realize there's more trees on the earth now than there was before the Industrial Revolution,
Yeah. Because
right?
before then, everybody was cutting down trees to heat their fucking homes.
Yeah, so, that's part of it, right? That now we use coal and oil to heat, so the trees aren't being cut as much. But also, like, was something stupid. I think it was under Doug Ford, that there was, like, some initiative, cost I don't know how many billions of dollars, to plant 2,000,000 trees over a period of 10 years,
Why?
for exactly environmental goodness, right?
No, but
And
why?
planting
Why does it cost that much to plant those?
I have no friggin' idea, but
Because bureaucracy. That's why. Because of permitting
sure,
and bureaucracy. That's why.
but
Because the
but
government
here's
needs to get their fucking cut.
but this is what's ridiculous. When they instituted that government program, private industry was already planting 20,000,000 trees a year,
Yeah.
okay? Because logging companies, timber companies figured out clear cutting and moving on doesn't work. I've got a plant here, I've got workers here.
Yeah.
I need to circular cut and plant after I'm done so that when I get back around here 20 years from now, those
Yeah.
trees are
Yeah.
ready to go, right? And so they've been planting for a long time and planting as much, if not more, trees than they've been cutting.
Trees are a renewable resource that we should be using we should be using and replanting, replenishing uh, as much as we can. Um, there's a reason cows aren't an endangered species. It's
Because they're
because we
delicious.
fucking breed them for food. If you want to keep a species from going extinct, turn it into food. Make it a resource.
Do you remember when Stephen Colbert was still fucking cool?
Back when he was doing shit like bits on the Daily Show.
And the Colbert Report, which was
Okay,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
decent at the time,
What did
right?
he say?
That he was talking about some weird ass restaurant that was serving endangered species,
Yeah,
and he was like, "This is a great news for those endangered species. If people think those animals are delicious, then they'll start breeding them and keeping them alive. The greatest survival trait, right, that a species can have today is deliciousness. Chickens, cows, pigs, goats never go extinct because we'll make sure of it
yeah.
because they're delicious,
Right. We
right?
want to eat them. Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah." If, I don't know, the spotted woodpecker was a delicious treat, people would take care of them. Like, so pick some endangered animal, right? Elephants. Found a great way to cook elephants. We like, and this is actually somewhat true that all that conservation time in Africa for the endangered species and the poachers, they couldn't get it done till they started selling outrageously priced licenses to foreign hunters
Yeah.
to come and hunt this animal, and then they use that money to fight off the poachers, and the population numbers went up.
Right.
right? Because a single apex predator actually balances out an ecosystem, and the
Right.
single apex predator in this case seems to be white men.
The truth is, you don't even need to replant, my brother in Christ. They just grow on their own. It's true. Like a pine tree will drop pine cones, and some of those pine cones will take root and form new pine trees. Sure. But for people who live in like an urban area, want to feel like they're doing their part, and have convinced themselves that, we need to do something about carbon emissions, plant a fucking tree. It's not going to hurt anything. And if anything, it's going to help things. At the very least, it'll provide more shade in public parks. And it'll
There you
beautify your front lawn if you want to put it on your front lawn.
I already got a great big tree on the front lawn.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Nah, it's all a bunch of horse shit. You know what? What they should do? What's your favorite dessert, Irving Twin?
Hard to say because I'm not really big on sweets, but
Okay, but if you go to a restaurant and they have a dessert menu and there's like a few things on it, is there one that will stand out and go, gotta get it?
if they have it on their dessert menu and it's apple pie,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna be real judgy.
What's a like an animal product that you can't bring yourself to eat? I know it's not going to be fish because you love fish.
Well, sea fish. Oh, okay, there you go. Freshwater fish.
Freshwater fish. So you like ocean fish. Okay.
Comes out of the sea, I'll eat it.
Like
Yeah.
lake trout, you're not a fan of.
No.
Okay. But if they could genetically engineer lake trout so it tasted like apple pie, you'd be all over fucking lake trout.
Well, sure.
Yeah. I'm the same way with liver or like squid. Like I have a real thing about eating cephalopods. I just don't like them. But
Okay.
if somebody said, "Here, try this," and it tasted like cherry cheesecake, I'd be like, "Okay, you've turned me on to fucking squid. I will eat it now."
Oh, squid's shown up. Evening
With
squid.
coyote, hey, there you go. I'm not going to eat you. Don't worry.
And apple pie needs some Granny Smith apples. Yeah, about 1 in 4 of your apples being a Granny Smith gives it just a little bit of that tart kick.
Or you can use all Macintosh apples because Macintosh are not the sweetest of the apples. So.
Yeah, but no. Throw Granny Smith in.
Sure.
You won't be sorry.
No.
Not eating catfish. Imagine. Yeah.
Says the Kentucky boy.
I eat everything at least once. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not opposed to trying food, right? But there just comes a point where someone says, "Oh, you just haven't had Greek from this place." Nope.
Yeah.
I've had Greek from 20 different places. Turns out I'm just not a big fan of Greek food.
Yeah. I'm the same with lamb. I don't like lamb.
Oh, see,
I
love lamb.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. I find lamb to be metallic tasting. I don't like it. I was gonna go with something. I can't remember now. That's my brain's going. I'm an old man now.
Food from climatology and trees. That's where we were.
That's
how
right.
we got here.
I know. With C-Max comment, I eat everything at least once. I'm one of those people who's like, I'll eat it on a dare. So if someone said, "Here, eat this," what do you call them? Eat this prairie oyster. I know what it is. It's bull testicles, right? I have no desire to eat bull testicles, but if it was like, this is Fear Factor or whatever, or Survivor, you got to eat this bull testicle to win $50,000. I'm like, people eat these fucking things. I'm not going to die from eating this thing. I'll eat this thing because it's $50,000 fucking dollars. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's food somewhere, I'll try it. Right?
Okay, new game. Make Craig eat weird shit.
Actually, I was thinking about that. Not specifically making you eat weird shit, but yeah, that would work too. Because I like to mess around in the kitchen, right? Yeah. And sort of invent shit or try weird shit that sounds like it could be delicious, right? And yeah, you say you don't like liver.
Not a fan. I'll eat it, but I'm not a fan. If it's served to me and I go out to somebody's place for dinner and they say, "Oh, we're having liver and onions tonight," I'm not going to say, "I don't eat that shit." because I don't want to be rude. I will eat it. It's just not my favorite thing.
You see liver and onions, but if they're not throwing in strips of bacon and mushrooms, well, then they're doing it wrong. So that's
Yeah.
probably why you don't like it. Because liver's like a big sponge, basically, right?
Yeah.
So if you fry it in bacon and mushrooms and
Yeah.
onions, it starts to taste like bacon and mushroom and onions.
It's the texture. I find it very dry.
That's
But
overcooked.
if yeah,
Yeah.
but if you have it with bacon, bacon's going to add a lot of that moisture back to it from the fat, right? So
Next week you should eat haggis.
I'd love to eat haggis. I'd love to try the haggis.
French
French
fries
fries
covered in
covered in
chocolate.
chocolate. Hey man, I never knew about dipping your Wendy's French fries into a chocolate frosty until somebody told me about it. I'm like, God damn it, that's actually pretty damn good.
It really is, because it's not
Yeah.
properly chocolate.
No.
Cook the liver and the spice for making tacos. Oh, hey now. Interesting. No, but I had this crazy thing. I've got to try it. Got to find out when my brother-in-law's butcher can get it. Deer heart tartare on a little crostini. You
Hmm.
know, bake them up myself, season them up. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had. Well, no, that's not true. I did eat at a fancy restaurant once, and somebody ordered an appetizer that was beef tartare, and I'm not one for eating raw beef, but I tried it, and it's all the way it's seasoned and prepared and covered with shit that makes it tasty. But
Well, it's the same idea as like ceviche, right? Where
yeah,
like the acids and stuff are chemically doing the work
right,
that heat normally does, right? So it's
right,
not it's uncooked, but it's not raw,
right.
right? That's why it's tartare. But yeah, shit like that. Also, because we're hitting the gym now, right? We're all gonna make it, and you're
That's
eating
me.
right, eating clean, and couple weeks, maybe month, you go, hey, no, I've been doing really well. I deserve a fucking cheat meal. And
Yeah.
what's the first thing we do? Is we order pizza, right? We go for fucking fast food. Like,
Yeah.
hold on. We spent all this time with the broccoli and the boiled rice and
Right.
or boiled chicken, right?
Yeah. Tuna.
It's like, no, why don't we cook our own cheat meal and make
Yeah.
it fantastic,
Yeah.
right?
Make it very, very rich with fresh ingredients. So even
Yeah,
though it's not super healthy, it's not super unhealthy.
that's the one you've got to pull up. What is it? Seasoning police keep moving. This is a fresh ingredients neighborhood. From the meme dump. You didn't see the meme dump?
I did see the meetup. Well, it's your stream. You want to pull it up?
Oh, it's gonna
Yeah,
take me a
Fox
second. Yeah,
dumped a ton of memes on us in the last couple of hours. Actually, it's pretty funny. I'm like, what the fuck are all these images?
yeah. You just like meme dump, so you can. That's the wrong one. I need this one. It's gonna take forever to find it because he dumped them. I didn't like organize them or anything.
So for me, Jeezy, a cheat day that I cook myself would be a patty melt on like sourdough bread. Smashed burger patty melt on sourdough bread, like fried in a skillet. Yeah, with like when my wife would put on like actual cheddar cheese, I would use American cheese because I fucking love American cheese. Um, and American cheese is bad; it's just garbage. It's not good for you. But that would be a cheat meal for me.
How am I not finding it?
LOL, seasoning police has been awesome. I don't understand the reference to seasoning police.
So this lady was showing how to cook with what's it called there? Onions and garlic in the chicken in the pot and everything, and then a bunch of people on the interwebs, black people, started going, "Oh, where's the seasoning?" Right? And it was like, it's the actual onions and garlic. Like
Yeah,
you don't need powdered
they
stuff.
have a lot of flour. They have a lot of flavor. You don't need to put like
Yeah,
the
like
chili powder on it. And
and she got kind of not upset, but like just like clapped back, I guess, and called them the seasoning police.
well, they must have really hated that being referred to as police.
Ooh. But yeah, so this is
The washing of the chicken. Did I see, I saw a meme where somebody's like washing a chicken with like Dawn dish soap and shit.
So that's for real.
Yeah,
That is a thing that people do.
I can get it. There's a lot of bad bacteria on the surface of chicken. This is a fresh. Oh my god!
I've
And I'm
seen.
guessing that Photoshop of the woman there was the cook.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I've seen this. This is a real, like, a legit picture during like the
Yeah, yeah,
depression times, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, like I think the original says Slavs keep moving. This is a white neighborhood, right?
Yeah, probably.
But I've also seen it with glowies keep moving. This is a schizo neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I was thinking about throwing up some maybe try and do some videos of like fun cheat meals that you can cook with like home ingredients. So even though it's a cheat meal and outside your normal like if you're like doing restrictions, it's still
Yeah.
within like clean food. It's clean. It's just richer, I guess, right?
Melina got a book called "Eat This, Not That."
Hmm.
Have you seen it? I think there's
No.
a series of them now. But basically, it's like if you're gonna order fast food and you're in the mood for a burger, let's say, it says don't order from here, order from here, and it points to like restaurants that have like really fresh ingredients, like clean food, so to speak, for a
Cleaner.
burger. Yeah, cleaner food for a burger. It's like if you're gonna eat, if you feel like you need a burger, get a healthier burger than just your McDonald's burger. And it's kind of an interesting book. So yeah, that would be cool. You could say, okay, you've been talking about doing a cooking channel with like your aunt, right?
That was more like a joke where the whole point is you don't tell her you're doing it. You
Yeah,
don't tell her you're recording. You just follow her around the kitchen, offering to help and asking her what she's doing. So that way she's just get out of my way. Why are
yeah,
you in
yeah.
my kitchen? But
You get all the
she'll tell
you get
you.
all the stereotypical Italian hand gestures and like,
Yeah, yeah. Cooking with Zia Maria.
yeah. She'd probably be really into you like recording her cooking though.
No, you don't tell her. So that way you get all the annoyances and all the little the hand gestures. She can't know she's on camera.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Zia Maria. No, I'd be totally into that. You should do that, man. Make another channel that's all cooking related stuff. Just say, okay, cheat meal, but not from McDonald's. This is how you make yourself a better Big Mac that's healthier and cleaner, or whatever.
No, I mean, why would you even like make yourself like a nice chicken cordon bleu or something?
Sure, sure. No, I'm just saying, like, you're talking about
No,
cheat meals. When I think cheat meals, I think something that I know is, ostensibly unhealthy, right? Where I'm just indulging. So,
yeah, but I mean, you can indulge in chicken cordon bleu, bro.
sure,
Like,
sure.
I even do like a spicy version where I wrap the whole thing around a fucking serrano pepper. So
Mm,
there's a bit of pepper in every slice, right?
nice.
And even in the breading, right? Yeah, yeah. Or like gnocchis.
I love gnocchi.
Yeah, but have you ever made?
Homemade, fresh made gnocchi is very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, you can gorge on that.
Yep. Little potato pastas. Yeah. My cheat meal is a hamburger helper when I'm lazy.
I
Yeah.
fucking love Hamburger Helper.
Yeah.
So some of the best goy slop there is.
Goy
And they're-
slop. I love it. Goy slop. Oy vey. I Munja cake, quick and ready meals. I like I told you that when I was in college, for like a week I lived on stovetop stuffing because the local like discount store had a sale on stovetop stuffing. And I make up a big fucking batch of it and I eat it, and then my buddy goes, and then like an hour later I'm hungry. He's like, God, I'm hungry. He's like, of course you're hungry. You just all you ate was fucking bread. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I was a big plate of fucking bread. You'd think keep me satisfied a little bit longer.
No, it's all carbs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It-
That was back. That was back when I had metabolism that I could eat an entire plate of fucking fried seasoned bread and not put on any weight.
yeah. Ah, the days. Like, I'm so happy that I love broccoli as much as I do. Like, that I can just eat it for breakfast.
Should have had a maple syrup sandwich. That'd be good.
Okay, so I used to troll my buddy, and I would just make some toast, just toast bread, and then spill maple syrup on it, and start eating it. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "It's Quebecois toast." What? It's not really French toast.
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's another one. And I like. Do you? And you? I'm assuming you like sweet French toast, where you like put a little bit of cinnamon in the egg batter, and you pour some
vanilla.
vanilla. Okay, that too. Yeah, and then you put maple syrup on it. You ever had savory French toast?
I don't know.
So you
I
just
mean,
basically you mix salt and pepper in the egg mixture,
oh yeah,
and then you dip it, you fry it, and then you put ketchup or hot sauce or some other savory condiment on it. It's good.
I wouldn't go with ketchup, but I could see that going with a little hot sauce. But now here's the real trick: go to the Italian bakery near you,
Yeah.
get one of those discs of hard fucking crusty bread, and cut it into slices, and use that for your French toast. Dip that in the egg and fry that.
That'd be good.
This will rock your world.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we're eating like whole grain, like all of our food, all of our bread right now when we're eating it is like really hearty with a bunch of fucking seeds in it because Chevy says that's better than eating white bread. I'm like, yeah, white bread's like cake. You may as well just eat a fucking slice of cake.
It's just cake, bro.
Yeah.
No, another friend of mine had a nutritionist who was telling him, and he would just say that it's just cake, bro.
I make my own bread at home. It's epic for French toast. We had a bread maker and we got rid of it. It's one of these uni tools. Like it's really only good for making bread and pizza dough. And we're like, we can't justify keep. Actually, we might still have it in our basement, but we never bring it out because we never use it. Like we got into a bread making kick a couple of times. Oh, but I will say this. So the wife is being very supportive of my goal to change my eating habits, change my life, my physique, and we got rid of our toaster oven, and she bought an air fryer. And you know what? Air fryers make great fucking toast. It's like perfectly toasted, and it takes about as long as using a toaster oven or a toaster.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's great. You can do 2 slices at a time. You could probably do more, but you might not brown as well. But still, so good, so good.
So I still don't understand how it works. Is it like aerosolizing the?
No, it's almost like a toaster oven, but it it basically is it's heating up the air, and that is what's cooking your food, as
But
opposed
there's
to
some oil, right? Like but it's way
you
less.
put a tiny bit of oil on the bottom just to make it like moisture kind of thing, or water. You can use water too. But
Really?
the whole idea is that instead of like uh, crusting it over with a hot element, the heat of the air is what's actually doing the cooking.
Hmm.
Yeah. Air fryers seem gay. Yeah, maybe they are. I don't care. The toast tastes great. I like the toast. So it's evenly toasted. There's no lines from where the grate was. It's just perfectly brown on both sides. It's good.
Healthier than a microwave.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
and
science of
healthier
it.
healthier than frying in a pan.
Yeah.
Cook over a fire like a real man. Yeah, for sure. Well, if I could convince the wife to move out into the woods with me, absolutely, that would be happening. Be cooking over a fire, get myself a
Have you seen how
Hot
expensive
Valley
steaks
wood
are
stove.
now, though?
What's that?
Have you seen how expensive steaks are now, though?
Oh, I know. Food's insane right now.
How am I gonna? Got a barbecue, and what the fuck am I gonna do with it? Just barbecue bread.
Make your French toast on the barbecue. Yeah, no, food's expensive. If you have a Costco membership, it might make sense to get one because you can buy meat in larger quantities and just freeze it. You'll save money that way. Just roofier and take off. She wakes up in Virginia. She's like, where the hell are we? We're in Virginia. I said I didn't want to move to Virginia. So fucking leave. You're here now. May as well make the best of it. Yeah, that's funny. She'll forgive you if it's fine. Just make sure she can't escape. Yeah, that's against the law. I disagree with my wife on a lot of things, but I still love her and I still respect her. So
And I'm not going to kidnap her to the woods of
I'm not
Virginia.
gonna kidnap her to the woods like fucking. What was that movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Christina Ricci?
Black Snake Moan.
Black Snake Moan. You seen? Have you seen Bone Tomahawk yet?
No.
Kurt Russell movie.
No.
It's a western. It's fucking brutal, man. You got to watch it.
I think I will. I actually really like
good.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, Kurt Russell's great, and he's a good guy in this. He's like a sheriff. It's reminiscent of Tombstone because he's like a sheriff, but it's fun and it's not a big budget movie. It doesn't have a lot of great big actors apart from Russell, but god damn it, it was good. And it like there's a scene in it that's so goddamn brutal. I'm like, holy shit! But it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Bone Tomahawk, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's on Tubi. You can watch it on Tubi.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a streaming app. But it has ads. It's ad driven. So every 20 minutes or so, they'll break for 3 ads, but they're quick ads. They're not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I used to watch TV like that, so maybe I could do it. Air fryers are just small convection ovens.
Yeah.
The element heats the air and a fan circulates.
Yep,
So
that's essentially what it is. Yeah, it heats with hot air. Yeah, exactly. It cooks with hot air. You don't need a lot of oil. If you put an oil in, it's like a tablespoon of oil at the bottom.
But I guess that means battered things won't work properly.
No. Melina used some haddock the other day.
Yeah.
She battered and breaded it herself. We did fish and chips. Great. She needs to work on the chips. The chips weren't quite as crispy as we would have liked, and it might have been they weren't dry enough when she put them in, so they were still a little wet. But no, it does battered stuff just fine. Yeah. So it's hot air. Yeah.
Strangely though, for a cheat meal, right? If you are in a pinch after the gym, you really don't want to cook a meal or you're just craving some terrible shit.
Yeah.
The fast food that will hit your macros is Taco Bell.
Gotta love that great F meat.
So that's actually a lie. That's just the joke that went around again, like the Cheese Whiz rumor. Right, that they can use grade C and grade D meat because they season it. It's like it's 12% of it is seasoning now, so like they could. No, that's not true. It has to be grade A beef.
Yeah,
but there's like 0 sugar and quite a bit of fiber.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, so you end up hitting your proteins, fats, and carbs in pretty good proportions.
I'm guessing C-Mac's not a fan of the Taco Bell.
I fucking love Taco Bell.
I can't have it all the time, though. I feel shitty after eating it. And hot sauce is 0 calories. I put a hot sauce on fucking everything now.
Exactly, right? That like there's no sugar in it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's because of the no sugar and the fairly high protein. So I always had this idea for a Taco Bell commercial, right? It would basically be, let me see if I can share this. Just someone grunting and groaning. On the toilet, right? And then for like 20 seconds, and then gong, Taco Bell. Totally worth it.
She looks in pain, that woman.
Yeah, totally worth it. Taco Bell, like, cause like when I go to Taco Bell, I'll drop like $45 on Taco Bell, and I'll eat it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I normally get, You know what? Now, if they made Taco Bell with like whole wheat tortillas, I'd be all over it. But it's
Well,
all like white
it
bread
can't be
tortillas,
whole
right?
wheat because it's corn.
Don't they have wheat tortillas?
I don't know.
Corn
Uh,
tortillas are like
Oh, I guess the soft
hard
shell
taco
tortillas.
shells. Soft taco shells are wheat.
Yeah, yeah. No, don't get those. Get
I like the
the hard.
soft taco shells though. I don't
Yeah,
like the
sure
hard.
you do, because you're flabby and they're sugary. You want the corn tortillas; they're high in fiber.
Fine, fair enough. So make whole wheat tortillas. That can't be that fucking hard. I see them in the store. They should just offer whole wheat tortillas.
It would ruin the flavor profile of Taco Bell.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of corn tortillas.
Really?
Yeah, I
Weirdo.
like the soft taco shells. That's just me.
I actually like the cheesy gordita crunch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
The
good.
hard taco inside the super fat soft
Yeah,
taco
yeah,
shell
yeah, yeah,
stuffed with cheese.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, actually, when we get the taco, the old El Paso kits, where you make your own tacos at home,
Yeah.
you fry up the beef and shit. So we'll get the mix. So it's a mix because Mona likes the hard shell. She likes them both, but she'll eat the
Mhm.
hard shells. So we get a mix of the hard and the soft. So we would put uh, queso cheese on the soft shell, wrap it around the hard shell, and eat it that way. That's good too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
refried beans. You can spread refried beans on it too. So,
but dude, I remember, God, back in high school, you walk to Taco Bell on your lunch break with $10 bill,
yeah.
get 22 tacos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like White Castle, but Mexican.
It's
White Castle's all about getting the cheap fucking sliders. You can get a pile of them for next to no money. Yeah.
yeah,
White Castle's fucking terrible though. Have you ever had White Castle?
I think we tried it one time on one of the road trips, and yeah, we did not like it.
No, it's so goddamn greasy. And the meat's gray, man. Like it can't be good if the fucking meat's gray.
I think it's like one of those, what's it called, where they do a lot of pre-cook, so it
Yeah.
ends up turning that color.
Yeah.
So that they fry quickly. But yeah, like 39 cents a taco. You know what a fucking taco costs today? Like 269.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they do everything like every other fast food place. They do the combos. Get a side of fries supreme, and a fountain drink, and it's like a $7.88 or whatever. For tacos?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get two tacos. But still, it's just fucking tacos.
Oh,
Okay, y'all officially have no taste, says Pox Sockman. I'm guessing he likes the White Castle. Hey Pox, do they have Steak and Shake in Kentucky? Because I fucking love Steak and Shake.
what the fuck is Steak and Shake?
Oh my god, they're like
Exactly what it sounds like.
they're like a burger joint that has like 68 flavors of milkshake. And the milkshakes are great. Don't get me wrong, but their patty melt, their Frisco patty melt, is like the bomb. I sound really lame saying that. It's very cringe for a 52-year-old to say the bomb. But no, I love their Frisco patty melt. So good. Yeah, I love Steak and Shake. Yeah.
There's this greasy spoon that opened up around the corner from me. I got to try it out. It's just called Jumbo Burger.
We had an Italian place tonight called Chima.
Chima.
Chima. Yeah, it's in Burlington. They have one in Hamilton too. Good Italian. I had a rigatoni bolognese. It was good. It's quite good.
Yeah, that's one of my go-tos for an Italian joint, right? You got to try the bolognese and
Yeah.
you got to try the calamari, unfortunately, for you. Because if they don't do those two things well, I don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
The bolognese was good. It had a bit of a bite to it, so they put some spice in it. I don't know if it was just like hot pepper, like chili oil or whatever.
Yeah,
But it was
should
good.
kick a little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I had the Caesar salad to start. So
very nice, very nice. See, like that's a cheat meal, man. That's a good cheat meal.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still food, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna work it off tomorrow. I'm gonna put some more time in at the gym. Maybe I'll go up to 15,000 steps tomorrow. I gotta work it off. Yeah.
Y'all need to try a Cincinnati cheese coney. Is that again from Steak and Shake?
Cincinnati cheese coney. Is that like a hot dog, a Coney Island hot dog kind of thing? Coney Island hot dog is like a chili cheese dog, I think. Coney's also another term for rabbit.
Yeah, I learned that from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So you had a bunch of topics, and we ended up talking about food and what else?
Corruption in government,
Well, yeah, but
fitness,
yeah. Well, yeah, a
what's the
lot of the shit we
climate.
were talking about had nothing to do with your topics. That's okay.
No, it's
It's
perfect.
casual AF. It's casual. I like the Whataburger. I've never had the Whataburger.
Do we even have that in Canada?
I don't know.
We have a Five Guys or something, don't we?
Yeah, we got a couple of Five Guys around. I like Five Guys a lot too.
And now we have Chick-fil-A.
I love. Well, you know what? Chick-fil-A's good. I still love Mary Brown's though. Mary Brown's is way better.
Really?
I think
Oh.
so. Whataburger. Do we have a Whataburger here in Whataburger?
So, okay. It's a
Galveston,
hot dog
Texas.
with chili that's actually a Greek meat sauce with onions, cheese, onions, and mustard.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, Whataburger looks like it's U.S. only. I had Sonic when I was in Virginia last time.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered food from Sonic. They have a pretty good burger too.
This is also something that I wanted to try. If the rabbits in my neighborhood keep going like they are, I'm about to start cooking them. Yeah, like I can get my hands on whole rabbit carcasses. So how to properly butcher and fillet them and then buttermilk batter them. Because apparently that's the way to do it is
If
buttermilk.
they're young, If they're too old, you want to stew them. If they're young, you can fry them. Yes, you can get protein poisoning if you eat nothing but rabbit. That's true.
Weird.
Yeah, that's why like rabbit's a good survival food in a pinch, but you don't want to subsist on it. Too lean.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the buttermilk would be.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Eggs. I've been eating so many eggs. My God, I must smell like eggs. Crumbed rabbit is good. Only issue is not enough meat.
I don't know what that means. What's crumbed rabbit?
They turn it into rabbit bits, kind of like bacon bits, but made of rabbit.
Oh, and so I should fry the bunny in bacon grease. Can't go wrong with that, I imagine.
No. Oh, and I'm not the least bit hungry. See all this talk of food, and I'm not the least bit hungry, which is good. But I had a decent sized meal. Oh, and I had a good solid workout today. So
yeah, so you're getting your macros and your nutrients and eating cleaner. You actually like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like that's a good thing because my go-to for the longest time was, it's 10 o'clock. I feel like a snack, and I would go have a snack at I'd like grab something out of the cupboard, chips or fucking gummies or some stupid shit.
Oh, see, and then you just go for a bad thing anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't do that anymore though. So there you go.
Eggs Benedict is a perfect cheat food.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm not a big fan of eggs as a thing.
No,
I like them in stuff, like throw an egg on top of my burger with all the accoutrement. Yeah, sure.
Well, that's the thing. Eggs Benedict is eggs, poached eggs with hollandaise sauce on top of a piece of bread, like normally French toast, or not French toast, normally English muffin, right? And it might have something with it. So like salmon and capers, or it might have like I had one the other day, not the other day, a few weeks back, actually before I started working out and first started going on this health kick. It was fried chicken breast with cheese, poached egg, and hollandaise sauce. So the bread portion was fried fucking chicken, but it was good, really good.
Yeah, no, I can see I could be down with that, right? Like, I mean, I do fried rice dishes basically, right? Where
Mhm.
I've just steamed my rice and then throw it in the frying pan with a couple eggs,
Yeah.
maybe some, veggies or shrimps and stuff. But I just mix it all in, and when it's in like that, then yeah, then it's great. But I can't like some people sit down and eat eggs. It's like I can't fucking do that.
I guess we have the first weird thing for Craig to eat. What's that, Pox? What are we talking about?
Breaded. I guess you could bread a dozen eggs if you wanted.
Oh, like Scotch eggs, yeah.
That's
Scotch
a
eggs.
thing?
Yeah, Scotch eggs, yeah. You partially, so you near hard boil it, so you soft boil it to a little bit
Okay.
firmer than soft boiled. So once you shell it, it'll still hold its shape. Then you wrap it in meat, like a ground meat, and then you bread it and then you fry it. It's called a Scotch egg.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've never had it. I might have had it at a restaurant once, but I've never made it. It's too fucking time consuming.
Oh, I thought
I thought they had breading on the outside. I thought they had like a crumb breading on the outside. Maybe not.
deer
Who
heart
knows?
tartar. That's
I've
that's
never
my next.
breaded one. LOL. Okay, well then, Pox, you know more than I do. I guess frying it crusts the sausage. That might be it.
No.
Maybe that's. I was confusing the meat, crusted meat, with breading. That could be it.
Po' boys. I make a mean po' boy.
That's like a Cajun submarine sandwich, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Often done with crawfish,
yeah.
but shrimp or chicken is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
It really it's about the remoulade, right? It's about the sauce you're making.
So
And
remoulade. Does it not also have like coleslaw on it or something?
it can,
Yeah.
but typically bed of iceberg lettuce on the bun, slather everything in the remoulade, and then throw your fried protein into it.
Sounds like a lobster roll, like a
Yeah,
Halifax lobster roll.
basically. Um, but yeah, people will add tomatoes, pickles, coleslaw, whatever. But at the heart of it, yeah, it's about the remoulade. Uh,
Furry says, "I want venison, but the closest I can get is at the moment is kangaroo." I I was like, "Yeah, do people eat kangaroo?" But I guess why not? There's a lot of meat on those fuckers.
yeah. How
Tough as
gamey is
boot
kangaroo?
leather if overcooked and no fat on it. Yeah, that's like venison. Venison's very lean too. So a
Hmm.
lot of times, if you're cooking like a venison loaf, they tell you, cut some little notches in it and fill it with bacon fat
Hmm.
because otherwise it's way too. It's just protein, right? So. Oh. Anything else planned for this weekend, Mr. Twin? Doing anything tomorrow?
Going to the gym, bro.
Me too, bro.
We're all gonna make it, bro.
We're all gonna make it. Are you gonna lift, bro? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow. So I don't think I've been on a Sunday yet, so we'll see how busy it is. Wasn't too busy today when I went. I was there at noon today. Was not too busy, so that's good. So we'll see how it is tomorrow,
Yeah.
early afternoon. I'll take the pup to the park, and then I'll go to the gym afterward.
Yeah, weekends are generally decent from what I understand.
Yeah,
Monday and Friday, for some
yep.
reason, have gotten ridiculously fucking busy.
Yeah, Mondays are
Monday,
busy because people want, they they overindulge on the weekend. They're like, I got to get in and work all the shit that I ate off, all the
yeah,
drinking I did. Yeah. You guys aren't going to make it if you live too close to Toronto because the nukes are going to fall.
oh, please. I'd be surprised if anyone nuked Canada. It's like, why?
That's right. You don't want to radiate the natural resources.
It's not even that. Like, it's not like we threaten a military response. We're cutting off our own oil exports to the U.S. Like, what? What are we good for? Why are we a target of any kind?
Yeah. We're good for communists. That's about it.
But yeah, it's like we've gone almost 2.5 hours. Do you have like a joke?
A joke. I told the one about the guy on the train, right?
Yeah,
And I told you the one about the wino in the fucking bar. I don't think I have anything else. I have a funny anecdote.
sure.
I
I love
told you this.
anecdotes.
I told you this before the stream. It's as embarrassing on my part. You guys can all laugh at my misfortune. So, my trainer Chevy showed me medicine ball slams. Did I talk about this already live or no? We just talked behind.
Medicine ball slams?
Yeah, I talked to you in the green room, but I don't think I told these guys
No,
about
you
it.
didn't tell this story, but you have mentioned the medicine ball slams that he had you doing, right?
Right.
So just
No.
you can refresh him, I guess, on what that is.
Right. So a medicine ball slam is you take a weighted rubber or a Kevlar ball and you pick it up over your head and you slam it down on the ground. Well, he showed me how to do them one time, and then I went back for my own session, just doing some weightlifting. And I was going to do medicine ball slams, and I found the weight that I wanted to use, a 20-pound medicine ball. And I saw it there. I did my other exercise. I came back to use it, and there was another guy using it on the floor for some other exercise. And so I'm like, oh, well, I'll just find another 20-pound medicine ball. So I go to another rack, and there's this 20-pound medicine ball. It's different in configuration. It's slightly larger. And I'm like, all right, perfect. Weighs 20 pounds. I go over to the area where you normally do this, the floor area, and I pick it up and I throw it down, and the fucking thing bounces and hits me right in the face. It was a bouncing medicine ball. I didn't know they had bouncing medicine balls. So 20 pounds of fucking weighted sand ball smacks me in the face and rings my bell, and I felt like such a doofus. And so when the guy was finally done using the medicine ball that I wanted to use, I took it from him. And then I see another guy come by carrying the medicine ball that just clocked me in the face. I said, dude, be careful, that bounces. He's like, oh, good to know. I'm not going to be bouncing it, but thanks for future reference. I'm like, yeah, don't do what I did. Anyway, there's my embarrassing anecdote for you guys. And yeah, I had a headache for a day, so it's fun.
Oh,
There's my
hey.
joke. I'm the joke. That's the joke.
We're all going to make it.
We're all going to make it.
All right. So that's a good note to end on. Furry's already stepped out, it looks like, but thank you all for coming. Thanks for sticking it out with us till the wee hours here.
Yeah,
And
right.
next week, your channel on Saturday, but on the
Yep.
Friday,
Mm-hmm.
the next 6 minutes will be streaming on his channel.
Oh, nice.
So that should be Friday evening. I think
Do you know what time he's doing that at?
he usually does a little earlier than us. It could be 7, it could be 9.
Okay.
I'm not sure the details on it, but yeah, if you're not subscribed already, go subscribe to the Next 6 Minutes channel.
Yep. I'll
So,
check it out. We got to
yeah.
get on Clippers United again sometime soon.
Oh
Check
yeah,
out
yeah,
Clipper United. That was fun when we did that.
yeah. It's good times.
Night C-Mac, night Pox, night Furry, night Costin popped in and said hello, but I haven't seen much from him since.
Yeah, we had a bunch of drop-ins like Rana Hoagland or Hoagland and DB Seriously, some
Cheesy.
poet
Gary
named
Beck.
John.
John, he was pretty funny. John Hoagland, yeah.
And
John
Squid
Holborn,
Cat.
sorry. Thanks everyone for coming in. It's great, and I hope to see you all next week on the Ammunition live stream over on my channel Saturday night at 10.
Link in the description. It's all in there now. So yeah, thanks guys, and we're out. Have a good one. See you next week. Hail Sigmar.
Keep your stick on the ice.